Hello, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I believe I screwed up the start time. Now that I look back at how I did it, so sorry to those that were waiting in the room ready to go. And I went to comment, "Hey, it's not 9 Central Time," and I looked back at the original announcement, and I think it may have messed up when I transferred from Pacific to Central. But either way, we're here now. We're live, and it'll take you guys a few minutes to catch up. So I was going to start off with just the topic of the original, what's the headline or the title of the chat, and don't know who participated or whatever. That's really not the issue. Um, the question is our current culture and how we teach kids and our children what to think of work and what work is that the right course to take, especially if we're talking about, in particular, what we do here in the Dragon, making a change in the world or in our culture, in our country, to a more liberty-based, freedom, you know, capitalist, if you will. When you talk about the economy and some things we've talked about in particular are that you have to change the economy to change the nature of our culture and our country right now. Um, Having an economy that's the way it is, it's not sustainable. Um, Debate it either way you want, and we're taught, and most of us were taught, you go, you work hard, that American work ethic, right? You're taught to go in, work hard, nose of the grindstone, all those different catchphrases that kind of epitomized America for so long. But really, it's just putting our kids into a trap of what to expect out of life. We end up going to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever it may be, coming home, repeat it 5 times, 6 times a week. For what? What does it benefit us? How does that produce, you know, good family relationships and everything else? Um, was there was a need for this type of work ethic to really grow America? I guess you could say. But what do we lose because of it? The family, close ties. People don't live near their families anymore because people travel, around the country to get a different job than where they started out, right? Um, so that's kind of where the direction this is going. What do we need to do to help our kids have a better life than we did? What are we teaching them? Is taking them to work with you really teaching them to be more independent, be self-starters, be independent as far as looking to start their own business? I mean, I guess you take them to work and you show them the bad side, but how often do you go to take your kid to work day and everybody's in a bad mood? Everybody sees kids around and they're all happy, greeting the kids. And it's all a good experience. It's not the normal grind of the normal work day, right? Um, so we'll get some uh, we'll get some invites out here. I just want to do a quick monologue to kind of get the topic going. And as I'm trying to get these invites out, I'll take a look in the chat room. Since I am behind, yes, like I said, I'm behind. I think I messed up the time change. Plus, the Red Wings had to go into overtime instead of finishing it off in 3. They let the Lightning come back and score 2 in the third. And I was trying to catch that. Okay, so we're a little early by Central Standard Time. I don't know what time we started it. But out there in the chat room, we got Partisan Gorilla. Fuds Fork just commented. How you doing? Southern Style 357, Johnny Master at Arms done. QC Hemp, Joel Sweatman. What's up, Joel? Linda Cloud, hello. I don't think I've ever met you or seen you in the chat room. Aaron Roberts, same to you. Hello. And that's about everybody we got in the chat room right now. Let me figure out how to do these invites. since I'm running it. And if you're new to the Dragon or anything, you don't hear me a whole lot on here. So at least as far as leading it, so patience. But if you're a bartender, go ahead and jump in. It's always useful to have somebody to backstop you. And I hope everybody's having a good day. We've had rain here lately, so that's been good for us because it's that supposed drought and everything, and it is good to get as much rain as we can before the real summer starts and it gets really ugly. But I guess anybody out there, did anybody out there take your kids to work today? Did anybody see kids at work? What's your opinion? Um, Please comment out there. And we'll discuss it to a certain degree. I know everybody's got more important things. There's Jade Helm and BLM, and the new Attorney General got confirmed by a bunch of Rhino Republicans, which I think might baffle my mind more than makes my head hurt to think about that whole situation. But if you ever about how both parties work for the same system, Loretta Lynch is. Make sure I don't say Loretta Lynn. That would be a disgrace. Loretta Lynch is a fine example of the parties working for the same corporate structure. You can't, if no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So that went on today. Your Republicans threw you and your freedoms under the bus. Um, avid, rabid gun control advocate, all about coming and taking your property and what's yours just based upon pretty much whatever the cops say. Which, if everybody's been paying attention, the push for a nationalized police force is continuing. Let's see who's on the. Trying to get these invites out. And I guess some people were over on Tac Daddy's chat this evening. I didn't catch his evening chat. I did catch his midday where he talked to Haas USMC, who was out at the mine today for their at the Sugar Pine mine for the rally they had today against the BLM. He was on the phone with Haas and just discussing the nature of the situation and explaining to everybody about the unjust actions of the BLM, which were basically using thug tactics, mafia style tactics to tell people how they thought it should go. But we'll see how it goes the rest of the week. I didn't hear the end results of that rally. But hopefully it was a large number supporting. I didn't, Haas didn't report a number that I heard, but any number is better than one. All right, going back to the chat here. Hillary wants a divorce, huh? No, she doesn't. She likes the influence and power that Bill brings to him. I think Southern style. It's a marriage of convenience at this point, and it has been for 20 plus years. They feed off each other to a certain degree. I think that's pretty good. I sent you a link G. I sent you a link QC. Anybody else want one? Let me know. But let's go back through the comments here. Back up. Yeah, Johnny, I'm pretty sure it was the desert sun affecting my sense of time, even though it was raining and pretty cloudy the last 2 days. Should mimic the Amish and their economy. Futz Fork comments. Hey, I mean, that type of economy is good. I mean, it keeps your money inside your community, grows real skills. You're not working for somebody else per se for the rest of your life. It's designed so that you become a master of your trade and craft, which ultimately means you're in charge, right? It's not slaving with the same job forever. You can't go wrong with that. What's up, G? It's like
What's
you're
up,
eating,
man?
you're finishing some dinner.
Yeah, buddy.
Right on.
Thanks for the link, bro. What's going on?
I was just going through the comments, seeing what everybody's comments were on the situation, and the kids at work was trying to, is the title of the chat. So trying to hit off with that and see what everybody's comments were.
Right. Yeah, I
And
had a
Joe
little
bring,
situation down in Baltimore. I'm sure you saw all that or heard about it.
yeah, the protests and the cops and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear the whole situation of what happened per se, but more police assaulting somebody. That's about all I heard.
Basically, yeah. Put him in the paddy wagon for 30 minutes, and dude's spine's all fucked up and broken leg.
Oh, he's the one that had a partially severed back or spine.
Yeah,
Okay, I did see.
yeah.
I see part of that video where they picked. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that was Baltimore. I didn't realize it was Baltimore. Yeah, so
25
that
years old.
is it not now every other day that we have a situation like this?
And that's what's funny. We have about 1,200 people that die every year from cops alone, and that's not the true number because I'm sure there's plenty of murders that are not recorded or yada yada in different cities, states. Baltimore and DC, prime example. You can only imagine how many of those we go through every day. That's not recorded in the local paper. Yeah, the 4 officers got paid. They're on leave now.
Oh, right, of course.
I don't think it's going to get to. I don't think it's going to get to the courtroom. But I was happy to see today.
Really, you don't think that's going to go to court? They're not going to charge anybody?
I don't think it's so. No. What I did like to see is Ferguson. You saw like 5 or 6 different groups hanging in one neighborhood and then getting violated by the cops. And
yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, I can't imagine that not going to court. I mean, that was it's brutal and on tape. I mean, seriously.
How many times have they been off and not going to court? Like, Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the grand juries are loaded somehow. I mean, I was glad that the situation in South Carolina they pressed charges. I mean, that's gotta. I mean, anything like that, it's got to go to before a jury.
Has to.
If there's evidence, that means that something could have happened, or did something happen. You just got to decide: was it malicious misconduct? Was it murder? Was it manslaughter? That's for the jury to decide. That's not for a grand jury of, hand-picked people. They're just there to select: is there evidence?
Right.
They don't know their job anymore.
Nope. You certainly don't. I wonder where Tony Tone is at. I'll see if I can get him a link.
Yeah, I saw him 1-2 on G+, but yeah, if you got another way, usually it takes 2 or 3 methods to get it out to him.
Yeah, I know how to get to him.
Right.
How you been, bro? I'm happy you started, man.
This has been a wind down week because I've been going for like a month on, for the previous month on like overtime and people at work getting sick and getting surgery, and so like one-man show and stuff like that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've been going pretty hard for the last month, and it's this week's easy out of it, and it's finally a little time to kick back a little bit, not such a hectic pace.
Yeah, I just been talking to Tom. Haven't talked to Mule or Sting or Red. Haven't heard from them in a while.
Yeah, well, speaking of going on topic there, G, I know you basically run your own business, correct?
Yes, sir. Hold on one second. Let me check.
All right. You finished up sending. Okay, while G's sending out more links here, we'll go back to the chat room.
Yep, I'm back. Yep. Come back. Yeah, business. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we're talking about take your kids to work and what we're teaching our kids and the work ethic. I mean, like what do you think is a good thing to do with your kids as far as exemplifying them to, have their own business, be their own, basically mode of support, not relying on others and not being basically slave to the system.
Yes,
what do you think your solution? What do you teach, I guess?
Well, little man loves money already. 7-year-old. He just sees my daily operation. He sees the process, how it goes down. I got an outside office I built. He says, "Daddy, go out there and make your money. make that money. You know, because I teach them, you know, appreciate the dollar because it can all go away. And you have to have money to buy the toys, the food, the clothes, the shoes, your skateboards, your bicycles. You know, you got to have money. You got to work to get that money. And that's what I've been teaching them for the last 2, 3 years. You know, appreciate that dollar because it can all go away. And appreciate the things that you have and don't wish the things that you don't have. You know, and that's what I tell them. That's why we went to Jamaica. You remember, last week I took them to Bahamas, but when I took them to Jamaica, we went through the ghettos of Jamaica. Our driver, and he saw the plywood for the windows and the wooded doors and the freaking hay on top of the roofs. He sees that. Washing clothes in buckets of water. No TV, no power, nothing. So that's what I
Right.
tell them, you know. So to be your own boss is always the best way to go. I tell them, you know, to be your own boss, you got to put the work in because, you know, it's your baby. You know, you care more than everyone else. And that's what I tell them. You got to care about what you do. You know, if it's doing your homework or playing sports or whatever you do, act like you care. Because if you don't, it won't get done right. I mean, it is hard. He is 7, you know. I know you
Oh,
got
but
me beat a little bit.
you
Yours
keep you,
is a little bit
yeah,
older
but
than
you keep
mine.
drilling that message in. It's gonna get to him. I mean, the repetitiveness at that
Yep.
age is more important than probably a lot of things.
He likes to work, trash. He helps me cut the grass. You know, whatever he can do. Groceries, cleaning the windows. He's not an average 7-year-old. He does a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a lot for nowadays. Right. Yeah, nowadays, I mean, kids. I mean, they shut down lemonade stands. I mean, even in society, and the law enforcement and business law and just everything. It's not just at the family level; it's at all levels where kids are discouraged from working to find a way to be more productive and
Exactly.
take advantage of situations. They're discouraged from that. They're encouraged to go get into the grind and just you know be a be in a cubicle all day or whatever.
I was talking to Sarah's, one of her girlfriends. She was like, "Oh, my boy, he's not going to work till he's 15 years old. He can't get a job yet." I said, "Shit, I've been working since I was 4 years old. I used to go to my dad's, the Pop's Bakery, stand on buckets, learn how to knead bread, scrape the flour off the floor, mop, sweep, mop, trash. You know,
Yeah, there's
Pops,
no replacement for hard work at a young age.
I said, I was 6 years old. I said, Dad, I want this new bike. He said, how many hours are you going to put in? I said, damn, it's like that, huh? No worky worky, no bikey bikey. Huh.
Right.
You know, I got my boy an allowance now. Got him on a little small allowance. He's starting to do his jobs. You know, taking out the trash, putting back the trash cans, yada yada yada. And like you said, man, I just gotta keep on sticking it to him, you know?
Yeah, little things.
Yeah. Because if not, he's just gonna have his hand out, and he's going to think that he deserves them, and he gets them no matter what, good or bad. You know, that's why when you're bad, you gotta discipline them, take things away, take their toys away.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. There's been long stretches where we give our kids a little bit of cash for doing the
Right,
appropriate amount of work, but they
right.
slack off and don't get it done. They're losing it. They
They're
don't. They don't.
losing.
They don't get nothing.
Mhm.
You won't spend the money. You got to earn it. You're not going to just fall into it just because you happen to be at the store or something.
Exactly. My biggest pet is his room. You know, sometimes he just throws his room. Or he throws his clothes wherever he wants in his room. Expects mommy and daddy to come pick it up, organize it, fold it, yada yada. You know,
Oh, right. Yeah.
but
Yeah. It's
but to your point, man, yeah, man, my boy can be his own owner, be his own boss. You know, find something that he likes to do, and find his craft, find his niche. Absolutely. you know. But gotta put the time in. You don't put the time in, you're
Yeah.
gonna be like you said in that cubicle office 10 hours a day, fucking answering to a fucking geeky motherfucker with glasses and a pen protector. You know, that's the thing
What's
about me, man. I had to work for myself, brother. It's just hard for me to work for other people, but you know, it's definitely hard working for someone else. Definitely hard. It is. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
right? I mean, it's interesting how we get sucked into that though. Obviously, the majority of people do work for somebody else,
Right.
um, and it's usually just one of those things you fall into. It's just like you end up one day and 10, 20 years later, you're still working at the same place, doing a lot of the same stuff. And it's like, how did I end up like this? I'd imagine. I mean, I was kind of a different situation, but I know I don't want to be where I am now 10 years from now, 5 years from now.
Right. I mean, sometimes working, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do wish I was working for someone else because there's a lot of headaches. When you own your own baby, it's hard because you care more than anyone else. Nobody cares like you do because it's your shit, you know? Everyone else is just looking for a paycheck. But that owner has a lot more responsibilities than the workers, you know? When the shit goes south, they can go pick up a new job. When you're owner, yeah, you can pick up a new job, but you're going to take a big hit, you know?
Yeah, and
And it's hard to work for someone else after you've owned your own business for a while.
yeah, I would imagine so, especially when because it's more rewarding when you work for yourself, right? You build something, you put that effort into,
Yeah,
the reward, the payoff is there too. But when
yes.
you work hard for somebody else, you put in overtime or whatever, the payoff's not quite the same, or maybe it depends on what the job is, I
It's
guess.
expected out of you is what it's
Yeah.
expected.
And if you're building stuff with your hands, you get that payoff to a certain degree because you get to see the end result. But still, I
Right.
mean, it's not long lasting, I wouldn't think. My dad's been in construction and building houses and things like that ever since, for as long as I know. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know, he enjoys it. I mean, he's always enjoyed doing what he does, but I just think it would be at a certain point you're tired of doing stuff for other people.
The best thing you can ask any business owner, and the money's good, whatever, yada yada. But even forget the money. You can take a poll and ask every business owner what they enjoy and what they love about running their business. And that number one answer is going to be they manage their own time. They can do what they want to do.
Yeah, time
Because
is huge, right?
to
Yeah.
me, I got two little ones. I used to sell cars, man, and be a car manager for 10 years. 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night every day sucked. I came home, pitch ass dark, went to sleep, woke up, had breakfast with them, left. Wouldn't see them till the next morning. And I did that for 10 years, bro. And it was very, very hard. But luckily, I've already been doing it for 6 years, 7 years. I've already been doing it when I started my family. So it took me 3 years to get out of it, which is not a long time. But it was hard. Saturday football games, soccer games. You couldn't be there. Saturday, you go tell your boss in sales that you want off on a Saturday when you're the top guy. He's going to be like, "Fuck you! You're not taking off." You know, if a noob said, "Hey, I'm taking off, boss, on a Saturday," he'll say, "Don't even come back." I literally seen fucking car general managers flip salesmen a quarter. I'll never forget it. This cat wanted to take off on a Saturday, a newbie. The general manager was sitting there having his coffee, and the dude flipped him a quarter. And the kid said, "What's the quarter for?" He said, for you to get a paper and find a new job."
Dang. Pretty just ruthless, right?
Right in front of everyone. So, like I said, man, That time is everything, bro. Everything.
You're right, and I think that's one of the. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people see is if you're self-employed or have your own business, that time that you can manage yourself is
Yes.
more important. I mean, what's more valuable than time? Yeah, who's not said it at least once? You know, time is more important than anything else, and that time you get to do those things is important. That's I was wanting to get 10 round in here. I just sent him a link on G Plus, and I think I sent
I
it
got
on
it.
Facebook
I
because I
got
know
it.
he's got his own gig too, pretty
That's
much,
right. Yes, he
and
does.
it'd be good to get his perspective
Yep.
on that
Let
too.
me let me get to whoever else you want, brother. I got you. Just tell me who you want and just bring this.
Yeah, I mean, I sent to Reb and
All right.
Mule and Tony and 10 round Chris there.
10 round. I know you're listening.
QC, I sent one too.
All right, I got it.
Check the chat room real quick.
You do that, and I'm gonna send some links out.
All right, hey, there's 10 round out in the chat. Hey, 10 round, we got you. Sent you one to your Chris account. If you want to come in and give us your perspective, or
Hold
10
on.
round, 10 round hippie Mule calls him.
I got you, 10 round. It's coming, brother.
All right, Arizona Prepper checked in with us. How you doing? Space Buns is out there. Good to see you.
What's up, SB?
Weapons Machinist. I don't think I've ever met you as well. Welcome. Good to see you in the Dragon. His comment, well, if you got a good horse, you can be an Uber driver. Well, I mean, why not? You know, start somewhere. I guess that's Dave Sardi would go for a while. He had his horse and carriage were out there getting work done. I guess he did
Right.
that. Redbud
Yeah,
815. I don't think I've seen you out in the chat. Good to meet you.
me too.
John Gacy's out there. How you doing? And Mule Team is all over the chat.
Brother Mule, where you at, Brother Mule?
It's all a hoaxes out there. How you doing? And Sparks. Hey, how you doing, Sparks? Just over the
What's up,
mountain there.
Sparks?
He was here and still is here. It looks like.
Let me get Dembski. Where's Mark? Come on now. Come on, MMP. I know you're listening. You got a link, brother. Come on in. MP's got his little motorcycle, his mechanic business. He can share some light as well.
Who's that?
Podemski. MMP.
Oh, right, yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
his time is I'm telling you, man, it's all about that time, brother, you know.
Partisan Gorilla said he's been prepping for his own business for a few months now.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a big thing. It's a big step because, again, it goes back to the society. I mean, regulations now are built to inhibit business. They're built to make it hard. Taxes, business startup fees, cost, loan cost,
Man.
everything that goes. It works against you for sure. It's built so that you can't challenge Walmart. You
So you
can't
can't
challenge.
open up a business, so you just stuck in.
Right. They don't want you to be out there, doing just a little thing that's going to compete with, McDonald's or Walmart or any of the big guys. And they're not trying to make you're not going to make a big impact, but it's that as long as they keep working away at people, they're not going to have competition. And eventually they work everybody out. That's what it's all about.
My old man used to run a bakery. You know, he used to make the fresh bread, pastries, yada yada, and fucking. You know, our biggest competition was was like Cisco and the big food services, and H&S Bakery is really really popular. Baltimore and H&S Bakery basically had all the restaurants, and my dad was just a small mom and pop shop, but my dad always said, he said, "Gee, the big stores can't do business without the little stores. Don't forget that, because the little stores are the ones that keep the big boys going. But now everything is machines, computers. It totally changed just from the 80s and the 90s with the electronics and the computers. We never had that shit in the 80s. But
Yeah, they
as time
totally
went
flipped the
on,
script.
yeah, there he is. What up, 10 round? 10 round patron in the house. Tony.
All right. 10 round. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a coon's age.
I was out in Nevada not too long ago, but
I heard that story.
Mhm.
I did see you on the chat at that time, but I haven't been in a chat with you since
it's
way before that.
been a
Tony,
while. Yep.
I'm getting you a link right now, Tom.
So yeah, 10 around there. So we're talking about, today was take your kids to work day, and I was just commenting on how we're talking about making changes here in the Dragon and how to give people ideas to make a difference or change the way things are. And one of those things is, if people aren't self-employed or have self-starters, you're going to be working for corporations your whole life and not have the ability to be self-sufficient,
Absolutely.
have that time to do the things you need to do to be involved.
You
With your
know,
family.
Your
that's
perspective as a business owner, like what you do.
that's a great point. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, someone's knocking on the door.
Take your time, bro.
Get you thrown in the fire right as soon as you get in here. We're not wasting time.
That's right.
But yeah, so we'll give him a second to get back here and hopefully get his perspective. Hopefully it wasn't the 5-0 or the FBI SWAT or anything.
Nah.
Black bagging him. Since he did have contact with Tony a couple weeks ago, he's on the list.
Shit,
All
wait
right.
till you hear that story, brother. They went through like 3 or 4
So,
chains to get him out.
Right.
so that's very true. When I was an employee, I was being a young man. A lot of the bosses took advantage of that. They had worked as hard as I did at their age, and it was their turn to enjoy their time,
Uh-huh.
to take advantage of someone else working for them. And it seemed like I made all the money in the world when I was an employee, but I didn't have no time to spend it or enjoy it with my wife. I couldn't get weekends off and stuff like that. And now that I own my own business, if I choose not to work a day, sure, I lose money, but it's not the issue of the money that no longer is a problem to me. It's the fact of that my time, like you said, is so extremely valuable. I can go out and do what I want to do, come back, work really hard, make more money in that one day than I would in a week of working for somebody else, and then have the sense of pride that it was me that did this. I'm the one that has built this company, and it's amazing, but it takes a lot of drive because you can't. The work's not going to come to you. You have to go find it. I did a job walk today, and we're doing a bunch of work for a giant building, and it's one of those things. If I didn't go out and look for this work, it wasn't going to be put in my lap, and I don't know why. It seems like a lot of people just don't have that motivation to go out and want to do it for themselves. That or they're afraid to fall down. You can't be afraid to fall down. You're going to fall, and
It's
it's
not
whether
about
you
every
want to
time
put
you
your
fall down. It's about every time you get back up. Right, Tim?
exactly.
That's a big one. There is falling down or failing, basically, or
Mm-hmm.
basically being without any method of support. And that goes back to getting started early because you want to start before you have a family. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
you've got a
No,
wife,
no kids.
but like myself, trying to jump into that now, there's a lot more relying on it. It's like it makes it a lot more difficult in a certain respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that. I don't have the responsibilities of kids, and and that makes it a little easier because say I don't have as hard as week, or as good as week, that means the wife and I don't get to eat as nice at fast food places. We'll eat at home. So it's
You don't got kids that are starving.
yeah, we don't have kids exactly. That there's a consequence of that. If I'm not out making a certain amount of money, they won't be starving. So I got into it because I was tired of being treated as a number. It I happen to be in a situation where I'm a very selective industry, and you have to know what you're doing in this industry. Otherwise, people they'll just get rid of your ass real quick. And I was fortunate enough to have enough brains and motivation from my father to tell me, you're smart enough to go out and do this for yourself. You can make your own money. You make your bosses a lot of money. Do it for yourself. And I guess just the push from my father was enough to get me not afraid to fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you learn best from example, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best example. Thinking about where you're at, I mean, you're in a place where it's one of the most regulated, rules-wise, and union-heavy areas.
Absolutely.
I mean, outside the Northeast, I guess. How do you think that affects people getting involved in business?
Extremely, extremely.
Right.
In this state that I live in, you can't do anything without. It's a 6 month, $5,000 or 6 month prison time if you get caught giving out cards
Damn.
with your
How
name
long
on it.
turnaround? How long turnaround?
It's 6 months in prison or a $5,000 penalty.
Damn.
If you
For
get if
handing out
you
a card
handing out
and
a card with your name on it if you don't have a contractor's license.
Without a federal tax ID.
No, not without a tax ID. If you're trying to do work on people's homes, work on anything, trying to fix something, you cannot.
Even if you're
California.
insured,
Even if you're
and
insured, gee, it
licensed.
doesn't matter. If you're not a part of the California contractor's license, if you don't have a contractor's license, you cannot do any residential or commercial repairs or installs. And if you get caught giving out cards, say I call myself Handyman Joe, right? And they set up
Right.
stings. No joke. They have set up stings in California. Handyman Joe. Okay, well, Handyman Joe gave me a card, but it didn't have a contractor's license. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this guy to jail or prison because he was handing out cards and he didn't have a contractor's license.
Right.
You can be a word of mouth. I have a handyman. His name is Steve. Here's his number. Oh, and then when they ask Steve for a card, well, I'm not allowed to hand out cards legally. That's how do you expect someone to build a business unless you get into their system? And it wasn't cheap for me to get my contractor's license. I had to pay for schooling. You have to pay $300 to apply to take the test. That's to apply to take the test. That doesn't mean you get guaranteed to take the test. Once you get approved to take the test, then you have to pay more fees. There's
real quick. QC Hemp. I sent you a link on Google Plus, brother. QC Hemp.
So there's
James Given account.
Like you said, they've made the regulations so hard against the little man that they're afraid to go out and try to work for themselves. There's that sense of comfort of knowing that, hey, every week or every 2 weeks, I'm just going to get a paycheck. Whether it's a crappy paycheck or it's a good paycheck, that paycheck will always be there as long as I perform to a certain amount of duty. As where if you're self-employed, if you do shitty work, they will not call you back. They're not going to refer to your friends. So
that's everywhere.
Yeah, but as an employee, as long as you have an okay amount of work, they'll reuse you. As long as you're okay. Employees, that's the reason why you have these crappy employees at these burger joints that who don't care about their job, because as long as they can just perform high enough, they'll be able to keep their job.
Right. Yeah, that's part of the problem. People get trapped in the system. Is
absolutely
you talk about having a comfortable lifestyle. People would rather have just enough of that comfortable lifestyle so they can buy their iPad, and go on vacation or whatever, to the beach or whatever twice a year, instead of stepping out on the limb and trying to be more independent. And it's it's more risky, and people aren't willing to lose that until
Just like I was in Jamaica, I was working, making calls from work. I spent $1,000, but I made $1,500. And I'm fortunate and lucky that I can actually work from anywhere. As long as I got a computer and a phone, I can make money.
Yeah, that's even better, right?
Don't matter if I'm in San Diego, don't matter if I'm in Alaska, don't matter if I'm in Jamaica or Greece or Mexico. Give me fucking Wi-Fi and a phone, and I'm good to go. That's it. But now it's
are you still in sales, G, or what do you?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
sales in general.
I sell my service every day. Yep. I'm on the front lines every day, making calls. I talk to about like 30, 40 people a day, minimum. That's light.
Yeah, that's people that used to go on the recruiting duty. That was one of those big things they had. They'd give them a new kid. He'd show up and they'd give him a phone book and say start calling. And they would expect they'd expect them to make like 100, 100 calls a day. It's like, what? But that's part of the business, I guess.
Just like in cars, man, they make those salespeople go up and grab 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old deals. Call all these people. They'll give them like a 1.5 foot, 2 foot high stack of names and numbers to call. You know how fucking boring and dreadful that is? That sucks. What up, Tony Tone?
What's up, Tony?
What up?
What up, Bo?
Drew's in here too.
What's up, Drew?
What's up,
What's
Drew?
going on? What's going on, guys?
Hey, nice to meet you, Drew. I don't think I've ever met you in a chat. I think I saw you out there at the ranch. That was about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we I just seen that you guys started the chat up and trying to see what you guys talking about. Kind of missed.
Getting a real job, not working for somebody else, working for
Yeah.
yourself, starting your own business. G and Chris here do that, so getting their perspective on how kind of they got started and what the roadblocks are, because today was take your kid to work day, but are we really encouraging our kids to be a slave to the system, or be independent and try to be productive and independent? And like Chris talks about, time's worth more than anything.
It's time.
Yeah.
Anybody take their kids to work today?
I take my kids to work with me every day.
That's really irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you did, I mean, either way. But
I
I mean,
watch-
if you take your kids to work today, are you teaching them anything worthwhile? Are they learning good lessons if they do go with you? Are they learning, wow, this really sucks, and I don't want to grow up, and I don't want to get a job. I just want to, skate by as little as possible.
Like you said, High Desert, that's no joke. I would hate to do what my father does. That man slaves his life away for a minimal amount of money. He's been working in the same company for 25 years, and if I would have ever had the opportunity to go with him, I think it would have did like you said. It would have pushed me away from ever wanting to work like that. To know that what we grew up with, how hard he worked, and the way that they worked him. But that's, at one point our we needed worker bees.
Green Dragon doing tonight?
What's We're live, Jimmy. We're live, baby.
I
What's
don't
up, QC?
I don't want to.
We're live, Jimmy.
I don't want to plug nobody or nothing, but there is something good out there that I found, and if anybody listens to talk radio, you probably know. But I'm trying to start that fucking the Dave Ramsey baby steps. So like his whole thing is like you getting out of debt, you putting money away to take care of yourself, and then you don't gotta fucking slave your life away. Because not everybody's lucky enough to start their own business. So what you can do, at least while you are working, being a slave for the system, put shit away, get rid of all your debt, and you know what I mean. Put money into like some type of investment, something or not investment, but something that will get more interest than putting it in a fucking savings account, because you're not gonna,
It's hard right now, Tony, because those things don't. It's very, very hard for those type of systems, because right now there's nothing available. You go to your bank and you ask them that, they'll laugh at you. Like
Well,
mine
yeah,
did.
no, you're not gonna do that with banks, but you're gonna do that with like fucking.
No, I know. Yeah, there's a right.
They came out with some shit to start teaching your kids early. He came out with a program just a couple weeks ago to start teaching your kids early about money and work and not getting into debt. Like, that's pretty much the key, is not getting into. I mean, we're all like born with this debt, with this national debt, but the actual debt that, you know what I mean, that you owe or whatever, that people are going to be trying to get your blood for, is the debt that you accrue yourself, or accrue yourself, whatever the fuck the word is.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that, Tony. I found out about Dave Ramsey back in 2009, and I started.
You guys were talking about taking your kids to work day. Is that kind of the topic tonight?
No.
We're talking
Well,
about the next generation of work.
Owning your own
More-
business, Jim.
Yeah, more significant.
If you're not,
Are they learning the right things by doing that?
Okay, well, just kind of a joke here. George Herbert Walker Bush, takes the boys to work. This is like 30 years ago or something. Well, welcome to CIA, boys. Here's where we spy on everybody, and then in this room over here, we torture the shit out of people to get information out of y'all.
That's old Bush.
My dad said HD. My dad never had plastic. Fucking never. He never had credit cards. He said, "Gee, if I don't got the fucking money in my pocket, then I'm not buying it."
Hey, and that's one thing I like that he like really stresses. He stresses like only buy shit in cash. So you're
That's it. That's all he did, Tony.
Never ever, yeah, you're
All his
never.
cars, his house was paid for.
And if you can't pay
cars,
for it in cash, that means you can't buy it. Period.
right? Cars were paid for. He didn't have a fucking credit card. And I made fun. I was like, Dad, what the fuck? I'm sitting here like, why don't you add a credit card? He said, does it look like I need a credit card? He says, are you hungry?
I would love to have a
clothes?
business,
I
but
said,
I don't know
yeah.
what the fuck I would do.
He says,
Honestly,
you got a car? Yeah. He says, why the fuck do you need plastic? For what? He says, if you don't got the money in your pocket, boy, you don't need to be buying it. You can't afford it. My dad fucking hated banks, man. Couldn't stand banks. He couldn't stand giving them money.
I can't stand them right now, dude. They fucking Wells Fargo.
The more we know now, the more we know, the more you hate them.
My dad was from the old school, brother, and that's the thing that shuts people down is when you ask what keeps people from owning a business or trying to run a business, is that the banks fucking shut you down before you can do shit. Because if the banks don't fucking give you the money, you ain't doing shit. Nobody today can just walk into a business and buy this, buy that. You want to buy if you buy a fucking snow cone business, you got to buy that icer. You got to buy the ice shaver. That's like 15 grand. You know, you got to. I mean, it's not like you got 20s and 50s and hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket to buy that shit. So that's the biggest problem right there is overhurling the banks, because right now you can't get finance for shit. You got to have like a 680 or 700 score just to get anything these days. It ain't like back in the day. Before 2007, I was selling fucking Corvettes to 20-year-olds that would come in there and buy them. And what happened in 2006 and 7? All those fucking bankruptcies, all those fucking short sales on homes because people couldn't afford the mortgages, couldn't afford their houses. That's why the banks tightened up. And that's your first fight right there, is the banks.
Yeah, you know, fortunately, I was lucky enough to not have to worry about something like that. You know, I sold a bunch of stuff that I had, just toys and stuff that I didn't play with as much as I used to.
Yeah, you're talking about the debt with the country, though. That's the United States corporation that owes any debt on their dollars that are, or notes that are out, not the people.
See, 10 Round and I are very lucky. We don't have to have a storefront. We don't have to have refrigerators and showcases and ovens, and we're lucky. 10 Round is on
right.
Yeah, 10 Round's on a mobile situation with his business, and I'm more of a I got my office here, and that's how I make my money. Now I can run a mobile if I need to go somewhere, like when I come up for the 4th in Vegas. You don't think I'm going to be making money? I'm going to be working every day I'm in Vegas. But my work, is a little bit different, My shit's just a lot of phone calls, but I'm still going to be fucking working. My phone's still going to be going off. I'm still going to be getting leads. That's never going to end. Knock on wood, But we're lucky that we don't have to have loans to open up our shit,
Yeah. I did, like I said, I did have to sell a bunch of my stuff to buy equipment that I...
Yeah, how much of the economy is actually...
Hold on, Jade. Timber, I was talking. Go ahead, Timber.
Yeah, like I said, I was lucky enough to where I had toys and stuff that I was able to sell. Not toys, I mean dirt bikes and my truck. And that's how I funded myself, because you can't go out and expect, like G said, it takes money to make money, and my biggest expense every year is gas. We spent almost $15,000 on gas.
Yeah.
We did our taxes, almost 15 grand went to gas. And the driving I do back and forth, you don't realize someone has to fund that. As an employee, I didn't think about it. I swiped that credit card, it didn't make a difference to me. And
just 15 grand on gas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he drives a lot.
On just gas.
Yeah. For me, I was doing the numbers the other day. If I was to work in Reno, it would be $1,500 extra than what I pay now.
Wow.
Just to go to Reno, to work there.
Believe it.
Like I said, Tim has a cash business. When he goes to the places and he gets the parts, he's got to have cash. He's got to have money to buy those parts. It's not like they're going to call him and be like, oh, 10 Round, what do you need? Well, I need 4 fucking rollers and 3 monitors and 3 sensors. Oh, okay, 10 round, no problem. We'll see you in 30 days when you send the payment. You don't get shit. He don't send the money. He gets no parts. He gets no parts. He loses customers. You know, not everybody's got a fucking $500,000 credit line. Not everyone's got $1 million credit line. Not everyone's got a black fucking Amex credit card.
Pretty sure nobody in here does.
You know, I used to. Got rid of that shit.
All right. Okay.
No, fucking kidding. So,
hey, you never know.
No, man, I had some good years, man, just like everybody else. Luckily, from 2001 to 2007 was great. Those were my greatest years. But after 2007, man, shit fell apart. Shit fell off real hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And it's interesting. I mean, I grew up with a guy who was always trying to start a new business. My uncle, who was his dad, had a construction company, and they kind of gave him the seed money to get him started. And he was always rotating from different ideas. He had a limo service. He had carpet cleaning. He had car detailing. But he wasn't smart enough to do the right thing and take care of the business. You know, that was his problem. It's like he had ideas, and he was always trying to shake and do something, but he just couldn't keep it going. I mean, he kept failing from one to the other. And it's just interesting how you do have to have a business mindset. And you talked about, valuable in your time and stuff like that. Just interesting how some people can have ideas and they keep pushing, but they still can't keep it going. They lack some certain amount of sense, which you guys seem to have. What do you think that is that allows you to stay in that in your realm that you're in and not fail, I guess?
Do you want to go first, G, or I'll take it?
I just think, real quick, so simple. You just got to put the time in. Like 10 round, I said, if you don't put the time in and you don't care about your business. I used to work for these 2 car guys, HDP, and all this motherfucker cared about was rolling up in his 850i convertible BMW at 11:30, 12 o'clock when we opened up at 9, came and go as he pleased, sniffed his fucking days away, and all he gave a fuck was going to the shooting range and going to Redskins games every week and just playing, basically. But he didn't care about putting time in, and I told him, you continue to fucking do this shit, you're not going to have it much longer. And the motherfucker wasn't even there for 2 years. In fucking 14 months, they shut down because he was never there. You have to love your business, and you have to love what you do, and you have to put the time in and fucking make it grow. And if not, you're going to sell yourself short. And that's it. I'm done.
It's funny you bring that up, G, because that's exactly what my perception was of my cousin. Is he didn't want to put the time in. He wanted to drive the Beamer, and he wanted to have the nice clothes and the trinkets and the gold chains, but he didn't want to put the time in or to put the business effort in. And I think that's what it boils down to. You don't have to be necessarily a wizard at marketing or whatever the business Donald Trump might think you need. It's putting your time in and making it work, like you're talking about.
Yeah, my thing, I was in my industry for 10 years before I started my own business, and like you said, you have to put the time in, man. There's no other fact about it. I cannot.
I was kind of wondering what chunk of the economy is basically information services where you don't actually make anything.
I don't know, sir. Go ahead, Tim.
Jim, can you hear Chris, man? You're walking all over it. That's twice.
Jim,
no, I don't hear half the people.
Oh,
refresh.
It might be on your end.
Yeah, you might want to refresh, bro. Jim never does that. Sorry, everybody. I don't think Jim.
Yeah, that is unlike Jim. That's for sure.
No, Jim doesn't do that. Go ahead, Tim. I felt bad saying something to him earlier, dude. I'm like, oh shit.
Why do you think I just shut up?
I know, dude. I know.
Why do you think I just shut up?
Check your mute button.
You know, big boy got you.
So I like I said, you can't.
You guys didn't talk about Jade Helm tonight?
Hey, we might get around to it, Tony. Calm down.
What a dick.
Dude, I'm talking about all this shit that's sitting outside of Vegas, man. I need to know. I need to get some opinion in on this from some Marines, because that's a Marine base, right?
Let's go through. one step at a time, brother. We don't want to get sloppy over here. You
Man,
know,
we're still in the first hour, man. We can't
that's
jump topics yet.
Go ahead, Ten. Go ahead. 10 round was talking. Go ahead, 10 round.
Okay, so like I said, you can't expect realistically someone to come and drop a load of work off. You have to put in the footwork. At least for me, I had to put in a ton of footwork. First 3 months, man, it was every day out grinding, passing out cards, hitting up big corporations, trying to get on their service list. Nobody gave me everything. When I get a service call, that was because I went out, passed off the card, made a name for
Right.
myself, did some free adjustments. I hated doing free adjustments. That's something I could have got paid for. But in the long run, they
Gotta give
remembered
the
I
gift.
did it for them, and they called me back because they were happy that I was able to do it for free, and I'm timely about it.
And you got
I
to
had
give the gift, like you said, 10 round. You got to give the gift.
I had to put in the
Gotta give.
footwork. I had to put in the footwork.
Well, no. You got to know. You got to give up some free work to
Yeah.
get that work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't given to me. I didn't have. I did have a few customers that followed me when I made my shift from my old company to the company I started. I did have that, and that helped out a lot because that's consistent money that they're going to call you anyways. But majority of my work nowadays is all new, fresh customers that I found for myself or that my partner found for us. So it's one of those things. I like you said, either you have it or you don't. I'd love to start $1 million business and sell it tomorrow if I had the opportunity. But the problem is that's very few and far in between. And unless you're willing to get out there and put in late days, start early, work hard, and not be afraid to, man, times are going to get tough, but when times are good, they'll be good. You just can't be afraid of that.
Yep.
So it sounds like
Can't
fear is
be
our biggest
afraid.
obstacle, right?
It is, dude. People get scared. People get shook. Like 10 round said, it takes a lot of balls to fucking put your shit out there, start your business, because it's all on you. Somebody gets hurt, it's on you. And people, like you said, you're gonna fall, man. I've fallen 100 times, but I've gotten back up 101 times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it is, man. You can't be scared, man. No guts, no glory. If you don't fucking die trying, if you don't try, how can you say that? How do you know if it'll ever work?
Yeah.
Time goes by fast, fellas. It ain't like we got much time. Shit. Plus the shit we go through, you never know. With health, look at my dumb ass. I almost got I was almost in flames with the devil, man. I was done. But I came back, and I had another chance. You just got to keep it going. You can't be scared, man. You can't be scared to fail because we all fail every day. We all fucking fuck up or yada yada, but we get back up and we continue to push. We keep moving. I wake up and see those two little kids every day, and my wife every day. Mortgage, bills. I got to keep them fed. That's my motivation right there. When I wake up every day and see them, that's my motivation.
Right on. Yeah, and just to bring people out in the chat up to speed if it has joined us.
Good
just
chat
trying to
tonight,
focus here
HTP.
on,
Big shout outs to you, brother. Big shout out to HTP.
We're trying to we're starting off here in the first hour talking about the topic at hand of how do we get the next generation to not just be slaves to the work, work to the slaves of the system, and actually be productive in something that can benefit themselves and the revolution, if you will. If you're not able to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining and be able to pay your own bills without relying on others, how are you going to be able to go out and do the things like go to the Sugar Pine Mine and the Bundy Ranch or whatever comes up next, or when it actually falls apart, economically, how's things going to get supported unless there are businesses out there, and we have to grow it internally, I think.
I know Andrew and 10 round and Tony. I know they're in the city and they see fucking homeless people every day. And when my boy, we go down to Baltimore, you see nothing but homeless. And of course, little G's like, yo, daddy, what's up with this guy? And I say to him, he was lazy and he didn't want to work. Now look at him. Now, is that fair to say to all homeless people? No. But it just struck my nerve when I gave a motherfucker a $10 bill And then 3 hours later, I go to the garage in downtown Naples. I see the bitch get into a brand new Toyota Solera convertible and drives away.
Wow, what a dick.
Right. And I'm sitting there, Drew, like, I gave this cat 10 pounds. And I don't care if they drink it away, smoke it away. They do what they want to do. I'm not going to go tell somebody what to do, but I feel better when I can help somebody out. But when I saw him jump in that car, Drew, and just drive away in that brand new convertible, never again, bro. Never again.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's hard because not everyone is like that. I get it. And I know maybe it's a fucked up thing, but that's what I tell my boy. If you want to be lazy and you don't want to work, that's what you're going to end up like. Just like that, begging. You want to
It's a
beg
good
for money?
lesson. Yeah, it's a good lesson to be taught.
And you know what? In some respects, I think it's better to be out on the street begging than it is to be working for a job you don't like, you can't stand, you dread going to every day, and you're miserable when you come home to your family. In some ways,
You
it's
take
better
it
to be
out
out
of
on the
them.
street. It's
And you
better to be
take
out on the
it out
street.
of them.
You know, in
Just
some
like
ways you're happier because your time's your time then.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're miserable in your job, your time's not your time.
No,
you
it's
believe,
not. It's
you believe I'm
you know
talking. You believe I'm
when you
talking.
can't take time to reflect and to enjoy life, what's the point of doing everything you're doing?
You believe I talked to a couple of cats fellows and they said, they just came out. I'm like, welcome back. You're outside, yada yada. These boys came out of jail. They're like, we would rather be inside. I've met people that wish they could still be in jail. Why? Because they're lazy. They don't want to work. They just want to do nothing. Nothing. And it's sad. Because some fucking people are just lazy and they don't have that jolt. They don't got that fucking motivation. To fucking
Oh,
go on.
and it's more prevalent now because people are being
Absolutely.
taught that way, and really the system's rigged against you. I mean, if there's so much working against you, why put forth the effort if there's going to steal it from you to begin with? Because essentially the system is stealing, your cash or your labor every day through taxes and regulation. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you guys work hard, but the taxes that are put on you are just obscene.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
they
This
are
is kind
stealing
of
your labor.
off topic. I kind of wanted to bring this up since you're all talking about that. I saw on the news, or I was reading an article where people who are trying to what is it called? Give away sign away their American what is it called, like passport and what is it called? Their citizenship. Yeah, they're trying to like get rid of their citizenship, move to Europe and stuff like that. Our
Oh man.
government tries to stick it to them. So even if they're they try to give it away, they're still stuck paying taxes. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Just thought that funny.
All right, yeah, they're going to try to lead you dry before you leave. They're not going to let you get off for free, right?
Exactly.
Only Donald Trump and the mega rich can get away with that.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah, it just shows you can't escape America, even in another country.
It's just sad. Well, the only thing I saw like that is when the fucking Islamic State they shoot their their passports or something like that. That's the only time I see it. But it's just sad, man, when people have they got the size, they got the youth, they got this, they got that, they got the tools, but they don't got the brain smarts. They don't got the wits to or the fucking motivation or whatever the fuck it is, dude. It's just sad. I know so many people down here, man, down in the city that just don't give a fuck, and they're lazy because they don't want to work. They're lazy. They'd rather sit home and jerk off all day and fucking party their lives away, or drink, or smoke, or whatever the fuck they do.
Hang out in the Green Dragon.
No, they,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
but they're just non-motivation, man. And for our kids, man, that's why we got to show our kids, man, what the alternative is. You want to work and respect and be a good, honest man, and try to reach for the top, or you just want to sit here and fucking wait for giveaways or mommy and daddy do everything or yada yada yada. You gotta start early, teaching them early, because once they get old, it's hard to teach them when they get older because they already got the shit in their minds or what they see or what their friends are doing or whatever. Or I can go sell drugs and I don't have to go to college. I can just sell drugs and be rich. Okay, because that's a short life
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Well,
It's
the
a
problem
real
is
short life.
Nowadays kids they believe they're entitled to free college and to a good
Oh,
job and to high paying wages and to a nice car and to a roof over their head. And they don't realize none of that shit comes without hard work, and you don't deserve it unless you put in your
Work
time.
hard. Yeah.
I have friends who complain all the time. Man, I wish I could start a company like you. I tell them, bro, why can't you? Well, I don't have no skills. Can you clean a window? Yeah, I could clean a window. Well, why don't you start your own little window cleaning business? Why don't you go out, try to ask
right.
these people, hey, you want me to? I could clean all 5 of your windows, $3 each. You got 5 windows, bam, there's $15. Do that
Yeah.
to 10 different places in a day. That's $150 you could be making a day. And they're just too lazy to want to go out and try. Or, oh man, they're gonna say no. Well, you know what? They might say no, but the people that next to them might say yes. And then they might say, hey man, you did such a good job. Come
Yeah.
back next week and do it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you have yourself a little route set up, but people are just too lazy to try.
Exactly.
They want it handed to them. They don't want to work for it. And that's what I found is I'm willing to try to work for it. I want to have a better life. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to be able to take vacations. I want to be able to go out to the Bundy Ranch. We drove out to the Bundy Ranch 2 weekends ago, Andrew? What was it?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. I got a wild hair up my butt and decided, hey man, I'm gonna take an 800-mile round trip. Just because I had the opportunity. Back a few years ago when I was working as an employee, I could have never done that. No, not without my boss's permission, not without asking permission to have the day off. So it's
Yeah, so it's
one of those,
about freedom. Yeah, I mean, it's about being free.
absolutely, it's one of those things. You give up the security for freedom. I feel more free now than I ever did, but I don't have the security of having a paycheck every 2 weeks. Now I get paychecks as they come in the mail. When they come in the mail, that's when I get paid. Till then,
What do you do, Chris?
oh, I
What line of work, man?
service and install automatic doors and manual doors.
Oh, like garage doors and stuff like
No,
that?
no. Like if you walk into the hospital or if you walk into
or
the
businesses
store,
and market.
yeah,
Yeah.
they open
wow.
up. Yeah, I do those.
Like the mall,
The
restaurants.
mall and stuff like restaurants,
Cool.
buildings,
What-
anything considered a commercial area, like anything that
What about bay
with
doors, man,
service.
like service department? Bay doors. Can you do those?
I can fix bay doors. I refuse to work on them.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
When I was an employee, I was forced to work on them. I was forced to learn them. I didn't care for them. I didn't like it. Can I fix them? All day long, every day. Will I do it now that I work for myself? No, I don't have to do that. I can choose
Well,
who I work for.
until the business gets slow, and then somebody throws that out to you, and you're like, yeah, I'll do that shit real quick.
Not even. I've got, when business gets slow, I have people who want me to do installs for them.
Hmm.
So I'll go take care of their installs and make a quick $500-600 in one day.
There you go.
Yeah. Learning a trade is a good way to go. Nobody can ever take that away from you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what, High Desert, what do you've been thinking about doing this, huh? About possibly doing something for yourself? I know you said you have a lot.
Ever since I was my dad taught me if you can't get up and enjoy going to work every day, you're in the wrong job. But I mean, I've been retired for 3 years now, and I still haven't found a job I enjoy getting up to go do yet.
Yeah.
That pays the bills. I mean, I temporarily did some ski instruction, but that doesn't pay very much. That was just kind of tied me over in between. But yeah, I've been trying to go down that route for sure. But also, like to talk about the topic is teaching the kids. How do you get your kids in that when I mean, if you've got your own job, it's kind of easy to show your kids. But if you're in like me or Tony's position, how do we teach our kids to have that mindset? So that's kind of what I was going through with this topic. To guide them in the right direction. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm past the point of no return, but I've got the deck stacked against me because I have a certain level of income that I need now, with car payments and the mortgage and everything. But I think a lot of it has to do with teaching the newer generation don't expect to have as much, because the way the financial system is set up now, I mean, it's set up against you. We didn't learn that when we grew up. We didn't learn that the banks are working against you and stealing your labor from you every day. That's what they're doing through interest and through mortgage, through basically printing more money out of thin air, putting digits in the computer. You're being robbed every day, and your labor is worth less and less, and they're taking more of it from you. And anything we can do to teach our kids to do more with less and to be self-sufficient and independent is all going to be more beneficial for them. And it's going to help support the cause in the big picture. But I'm always looking for opportunity, but I don't know what it is, because I'm not exactly I don't know.
You'll find it, bro. You'll find your niche. You just gotta figure it out and figure out what you can enjoy doing every day. Like you said, if you're sitting there at work all day and you're fucking stressing, you're gonna take that shit home. Just like when I was in the car business and I didn't sell cars for a week or so, or yada yada. You take that shit home every day with you. It's like, man, they don't want to hear that shit. Your home is supposed to be your home where you can relax and you can forget about all that shit and leave everything at work. That's why Pop said, if you don't love what you do and you hate it, you're going to make everyone around hate you, and you're just going to have a bad attitude, and you're going to suck. And you're going to take everyone else down with you. One bad apple spoils the corn. And no boss wants to have a negative fuck in their business, bringing everybody down,
Yeah, that's.
Sure.
Sorry, I did good.
No, you're good. I was just going to say that. One thing I think we need to remind two kids of too. At some point, you're probably going to work for somebody else just to get the job skills that you need, more than likely, unless they work for you as they grow up and they learn some job skills there. But at some point, they're going to work for somebody else to learn. But it's not normal to work under people in the same job for 20, 30 years. It's not going to benefit you.
Yeah,
learn your skills,
progress.
see how you can progress out and get your own gig going, or whatever it might be. Maybe you're doing a job that you don't want to do forever, but you're just using it to save up money so you can invest it in, a flower shop or whatever.
Anything, yeah. Like I said, window cleaning. What kind of skill does it take to learn how to clean windows?
How much are you going to make off cleaning windows? You got to have a big business. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're going to have to.
Not even, G. Like I said, bro. That's one of those things. It's about the numbers game. You have 20 places you hit every single day, at $3 a window or whatever. Do the math. That's good money. $300 a day is good money.
Yeah. I told my boy 10 round. I said, "Yo, you're gonna start cutting the grass." He was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, "You're gonna start." I said, "You're gonna start cutting grass." I said, "Shit, I'll fucking do it. Let me tell you that much." I said, you charge people $20 a day, dude. Do $20 a day, and you do 5 yards. You make $100 for a 7-year-old making $100. Not bad. The boy's big boy. He's not a small boy. He can do it. Of course, I'll go out there and help him, but that's what I'm going to set him up with this summertime. I'm going to start making him do maybe 2-3 yards a day. Let him get $50-$60, and that's a lot of money. He loves money. Loves money. He loves that California roll. He says, "Daddy, let me get a $100 bill." I said, "Why?" He says, "So I can go chain ticket to the bank and get 100 ones. I like ones, Daddy." I said, "Okay." Loves money, but he knows that he has to work to get paid. Just like HD said, see how much work you do. If you don't want to put the work in, your piggy bank is going to be empty. And he doesn't like that.
Right. I think my kids don't mind being broke, it seems like.
My boys don't like it.
They don't want to work, huh? Yeah. See, I guess I was that kid. At 13 years old, I was cutting people's grasses. At 15, I got 15 and a half. I got a job at Shakey's Pizza. I worked there till I was 18.
And I swear to you, HT, when I told you earlier, dude, I was 4 or 5 years old, standing on buckets, learning how to knead bread, scraping flour off floors. I mean, Pops used to have, the bowls, man. Fucking, you can go in there and fucking take a tub. I mean, go swimming. I mean, mix up 100-pound bags of flour at every mix. And they would go through hundreds and hundreds of dozens of bread every day. And I would have to clean that shit all day, every day. Pops would wake me up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, go to work till like 6 o'clock in the evening, every Saturday and Sunday. I used to have fucking 13 bikes, man, when I was little. I fucking had all of them, the GTs, the dynos, all the expensive boys, but I worked for it. I used to get paid $300 a week. That's a lot of money. I mean, I used to sign, my dad signed the employees' checks when I was 13 years old, doing their fucking payroll. I shit you not. But like I said, I mean, I was fortunate. He had a business, but I learned the business, just business in general, at a young age. Now I know why he was so hard on me and so tough.
Right on.
Because, he was like, he says, I don't want no pussy. I don't want a girl. You're my boy. You're my son. I already got a daughter. I don't need 2 daughters or 2 vaginas. Let's get it going, boy. Let's work. And, you don't work, you don't get to play. No toys.
Yeah, we all like to play with our toys, right? Yeah, well, let's go ahead and reach out. I'm gonna reach out to the chat room here and see who's joined us and see what kind of comments we got going. I'm sure they've ran the gamut. You guys are providing all the content. El Tendo Fabrizio is out there. I know he just started. He's kind of went the independent route a little bit. Or at least he's working for a smaller business. WP45, Partisan Guerrilla, deflated corporate wages. It looks like he's commenting on. Inflation is enslaving. Absolutely, inflation enslaves is what really hinders to a large degree. Wayne Donne, hello. How you doing out in the chat? I don't think I've ever seen you out in the chat. Good to meet you. Such as it is. It says next time the banks fail, there will be a bail-in by the depositors like Cyprus. I think that's what we all need to be ready for. I know we've talked about it in the past. We're just waiting for the time when it's going to happen, when they're going to basically steal whatever you have. And it may not just be a bank. It may be your 401k and any investment you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzz Fork's still out there. 45 Red
What's up, brother caregiver?
Linda Cloud, thanks for joining us. Politically Incorrect, what's up? Talking about being farmers, yeah, I mean, if you can teach anybody a skill of being farming, it's going to be valuable to not only yourself but others. But just to be self-sufficient, just learning a bare minimum of farming would be good. Just even if you do work for yourself. Otherwise, Johnny Master Arms Done still out there. Now they're talking concealed carry options. It's always a good side topic. See what everybody carries. Aaron Roberts, good to see you. Yeah, you're right. Donald Trump didn't start at the top. He had to start somewhere. Absolutely. And it's not the point of we're not talking about here trying to be Donald Trump. We're just talking about being independent to, the degree where you don't have to rely on the corporate structure to a large degree. But everybody would like to be at Donald Trump if you put the work in and get it done right? Takes a couple lucky breaks, I'm sure, but, and maybe a little corruption. Who knows?
Probably just a touch.
Stan Ulch is out there. Howdy from up north. And 10 Round commented on his price of gas. Knuckle Mac 33, how you doing?
Knuckle Mac.
He can remember 50 cents a gallon. Returning Coke bottles to get a gallon for the go-kart. Okay. Yeah, inflation has really killed us. Caregiver 7751, how you doing?
CG.
And I
You
think
see
that
Wild Iron
brings
HD? You see Wild Iron out there?
that
Yeah,
Wild
Wild
Iron just
Iron
popped
hosting.
in. Yep. Okay, now it's 265 when he started. Yeah. Okay, right, Wild Iron. We believe that one. Or maybe when
He's
you started
also
your, he might be talking
What's
about when
up?
you started his trucking business. He may be
yeah,
not
he's
when you
also a business owner
started
as
working.
well.
What's up, brother
Yeah.
Carlo? Knuckle Mac. What's up, brothers? HD.
Yeah,
Good
Wild
job,
Iron.
brother. Good
I
job.
know Wild Iron that the price of gas was not 265 when you started working though.
Shit.
I know that for sure.
I think
uh,
we're talking minimum wage.
oh, his minimum wage is 265, maybe.
Yeah, mine was 5.25 when I started working. Was 5.25 minimum wage.
Right. And I think that brings us up to speed then. Wild Iron, they got Linda and
Yeah.
Dutch Point of View. Okay, I don't
That
think I
brother
shouted them out.
Carlo. Carlo. What's up, brother?
Another newcomer for me, at least. And there we go.
He's from the
And
Netherlands.
Stan Olch, well, I assume so. He said Dutch Point of View. Has he been in
Mm.
the chat before?
Oh, he's been hanging out with him for a couple of years. Big cat.
Oh,
He was with us last night. Me, 10 Ram, Carlo.
okay.
Yep.
I'm out of the loop. Uh, yeah, and the IMF coming down on all of us. Yeah, it's the central bankers are after all of us. That's for sure.
Brother Don. Don, if you want a link, let me know.
Yep, the central bank is a lot of the problems that we're dealing with, and it's going to continue until it all
Okay.
either falls apart or we're enslaved to the system, one or the other. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, good topic, guys. I mean, obviously working for yourself is not easy, and if it was, everybody would be doing it, right?
Well, just I believe it was something like in the early 1900s, 80% of people were self-employed. And just over a matter of just over 100 years, it seems like, I can't remember. I've seen the statistic not too long ago. My business partner brought it up to my attention. He said, damn, dude, I didn't realize that it went from majority of people doing work for themselves, self-employed, self-sustainable, to now majority of people are an employee. And it's a very few.
Is that any coincidence? At that same time, you have
At the
central
same time,
banking,
yeah, central banking.
central public education system to prepare your good little, corporate workers.
Mm-hmm.
Central government expansion. It's all worked together. It's all been, molded together. Each of them required the other to advance. Unfortunately for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you said, is it a coincidence or it just happens to be?
Yeah, I would say it was a new order agenda, but then I'd be called a conspiracy nut theorist guy. But anyway, so speaking of conspiracy theories, Tony, what are you seeing outside of Vegas? And Tony probably hung up on us after we shut him down for interrupting us. Now we're ready to transition, and he's not there.
I'm here.
There he is. I know Tony wanted to get his Jade Helm 15 comments in because Vegas has been seeing some action or movement in the area. What you got going on?
Okay, so we got two conspiracy theories. Jade Helm, all that stuff sitting out there. I don't know. I know that base never has a bunch of shit at it like it is now.
Turn your radio down, brother. We can't hear you. Thank you, brother.
Hold on 1 second. There we go. So yeah, that base on Yermo never has a whole bunch of shit sitting. I drive past that all the time, and I've never seen that much stuff. So I don't know. Just get some opinions out there, what people think. And
are you talking about Yermo or are you talking about Indian Springs?
Yermo.
So Barstow?
Yeah. Area, yeah.
I wouldn't say there's never stuff out there sitting around.
No, I didn't say there's never. Every time I go by, there's always like tanks on the train passing through or stopped right there. But there's never, ever, and I've been going out there forever, I've never drove out there and seen lines upon lines upon lines of, like it was in that video. I've never seen that. And I travel that road a lot.
Right, I mean that's the 15 going to LA and San Diego. I mean, yeah, it's well traveled. I mean, I didn't catch the video detail. I saw, a bunch of vehicles. Could you tell from the video what kind they were? Like, were they, I mean, I don't, you probably
They
couldn't,
were a
but
mix of everything. There was like everything there.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's no reason to stage stuff out in the middle of the desert like that. That's one thing. Unless they're going to um, Fort Irwin.
And my other conspiracy theory is it's in Chris's neck of the woods. Bruce Jenner's becoming a woman.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah,
I think that's the downfall of America right there.
that's what they want you talking about.
There we go.
That's what happens when you live with the Kardashians. That should be a lesson to everybody.
I'm sending you a link right now, Walter.
Don't live with self-centered women.
Hey,
End up like them.
how about the high heel thing with the army?
Tony. Oh,
What?
you,
Whoa,
I,
whoa,
about,
whoa, whoa, whoa. What's
I mean, that's
going on?
legitimate. That's legitimate to
I know
talk.
that was a story. Yeah.
What
That's
happened? I want to hear about this, brother.
demasculation of the forces. It was an ROTC group, though, right?
I don't know.
What are
I
you
believe
on?
that's what the story was.
No.
Yeah, I believe it was or it was one of the academies.
Then we
Yeah.
gotta talk about
that's-
Charm City soon too. HD.
About what?
Charm City. Be more.
I don't know what that is. Oh, Baltimore.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Oh, right. Yeah.
I
Tony's talking about a story where they reported that a organization, it was either ROTC or a academy, one of the academies, where they made the soldiers, no, they were soldiers, I just want to make that clear, they made them walk around in high heels to learn about feminism or feminist rights, or it was
What?
bizarre. It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard of.
And you gotta wear
It's
high
a
heels.
army. It's a let's see, 2 sexual assault awareness events involving the Army ROTC cadets on campuses.
Brother KC, if you're out there, I sent you a link to KC. The not perfect one.
So it is ROTC. I mean, the Army should shut that school's ROTC unit down.
It's the Army telling them to do it. It says the Army forces the ROTC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's time to get out of the Army anyway, but that's just... that's indoctrination. You want to talk about an agenda. I mean, how much worse does it get? You're not teaching anybody anything.
I seen a woman that was a man was in the Army.
You live in Vegas, Tony. Of course you do.
No, on here. On here, I seen an Army woman that was a man.
Right.
Used to be an Army man.
Wow.
And they went through the whole Bruce Jenner transition and everything.
You're not talking about Chelsea Manning, are you? Or the whole Manning
You know, the whole
conspiracy?
Chelsea Manning thing, I was thinking that they just tortured the fuck out of that dude until
Oh,
he
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that a bit. That's
Yeah.
what my first thought was.
his fucking
For
mind.
what he's been through, they forced him to go out of his mind so that he wouldn't be able to tell anybody. He wouldn't be credible.
Yeah.
Make him not a credible witness.
Yeah, it says other service members at Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, wow.
So that's a Navy base for anybody who doesn't know that's out there. I wasn't stationed at Little Creek, but that's kind of weird.
To bring up the Jade Helm thing as well, that Tony was talking about earlier, I've noticed probably a 5 times amount of the normal traffic
There he is.
of military airplanes and military vehicles driving around the normal. I would usually occasionally see once a month 3 or 4 Blackhawks flying around, or those Apaches, I think they're called, the ones that are like the attack helicopters.
Yeah.
I'd see
If
through.
it's Marines, it's the Cobras most likely. If it's the Army,
Like I said, I couldn't tell you. All I know is I've seen the attack. Yeah, I've seen usually 3 or 4 of them flying together at the most.
When I
once a month.
was in LA in December, they had fucking Ospreys flying through the high-rise buildings like it was a Transformers movie. It was fucking insane.
I believe it.
And
Yeah,
then
like
mean, it's dude, it's so busy with military traffic here. I mean, they're not hiding anything. They drive all over the highways. They're all over the freeways. They're all in the fucking sky. They are fucking everywhere. You
Yeah,
know?
I've seen them probably ramp it up probably 4 times the amount that I'm used to. You know, the other day I seen like 10 of those attack helicopters flying in formation, no further than 300 feet off of the ground, just flying down the street.
And Chris, how I'm not don't know exactly where you are, but how close are you to Ontario? I know San
I am
Bernardino's got.
I'm 45 minutes from Ontario, but I am just about in the middle of Camp Pendleton and 29 Palms.
And
I'm
yeah,
literally
split. But
the
Ontario
split.
is where
Yeah,
the 13th MEU was doing all their World Cup stuff in Ontario, from what I've seen in a lot of those videos. They
yeah,
put in a lot of
absolutely.
that
I'm
traffic.
I'm 45 minutes from Ontario.
Yeah,
I drove through it twice today.
right. Yeah, I thought you were in the area.
So,
I just didn't want you to.
mhm.
I don't want to pinpoint your location necessarily.
No, it's okay.
I
It's
mean,
okay.
we know you're close to the border checkpoint and stuff like that, but
Hmm. Yeah, I wish I would
yeah,
have known about that Ontario stuff. I would have went and videoed.
Yeah,
well, that's
see,
the
I
stuff they
mean,
don't announce ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
man, I don't know. To me, what I see every day out here and everything that I see that's going on, I see fucking secret police snatching motherfuckers off the streets all day, and the military is like 10 times busier than they usually are. I mean, it's an all day, all fucking night, 24/7 sorties. I mean, they do not stop. They used to fucking. I mean, even I was here even in 2001. You know, like right when the towers got hit and all that shit, and the military bases scrambled and everything, and they still weren't as busy as they are now. I mean, it to me, it's insane how fucking busy they are. There's either fucking C-130s or fucking fucking big old bombers flying by. I mean, they don't even the B-2s and all that shit. They usually would like take off at night and come back before the sun came up. They're flying out in broad daylight. I mean, it's just really, really busy, and it doesn't make no sense for them to be that busy unless they're planning to fucking they're playing war games all day long. Flying in and out of every airport we have, flying in and out of the hospital helo pads that we have. They're fucking planning for something that motherfuckers ain't ready for, in my opinion.
Yeah, that I've noticed, like you said,
Well, I
Tony.
think it was. I mean, ready for it.
I've noticed a big increase in military presence. You know, I was driving today, pointing out to Justin, I've probably seen 50, 60 Hummers driving down the road. You know, and on the freeway, I mean, sure, I see that occasionally, but it just seems like I'm seeing it a lot more than I usually do.
Dude, they're driving down the freeways in convoys here, and people,
Hmm.
it's crazy because I see the shit, but I mostly try to look for people's reactions. I try to look and see what other people are doing when they see that, and people are like, they're not
Waving
even.
to them.
Dude, I
Hey.
don't even see them waving to it. I see it like I see people. I look, and it's like they don't even see it at all. Everybody is really that immersed in their fucking bullshit in their life that they honestly, I don't even regular people who are not awake. I don't even think they see the convoys going through the streets. I don't think that they see the Blackhawks flying overhead. I don't even think they even acknowledge it or register it or compute it or whatever.
They just don't want to, maybe.
Yeah,
It's
they don't
better.
care
It's
to.
bliss, you know. If I
Yeah,
start to acknowledge what's around me, I might have to think critically about it and be concerned.
absolutely. I agree with you on that. You know, that I don't know. No one I hear talk about the Blackhawks, but I do see people waving to the convoys on the street and stuff. And it always blows my mind. You'll see dudes, these giant vehicles driving in a group, and people wave to them like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, they don't think anything of it. I guess they get that false sense of security that our military is the savior. Hate the police, but love the military.
Well, and I mean, Chris, for where you're at, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see what you're seeing, but like you talked about, you're between Pendleton and 29 Palms, and convoys happen there probably monthly.
Yeah, like I
back and
said,
forth.
I'm used to the monthly. I'm very
Now,
used to the monthly.
I know because I've planned those convoys. I've actually planned them and done them. Usually, you've got about 4 or 5 it takes to move a mu-sized element.
I don't know what a mule is.
Well, that's the Marine Expeditionary Unit. Usually, they will transition between there and Fort Irwin or 29 Palms to do their workup training. And usually, if you have 4 or 5 convoys going, you'll get 3 of those at night, or after rush hour time frames, because it's better on everybody to have those vehicles not on the road when a lot of people are on the road. It's just a safety factor, right? So you plan around those things, and usually those things are planned in a way that they're not in broad daylight at noon, on a work week. It's just not planned that way for legit reasons. And if they're doing it consistently in the middle of the day for a week straight, it means they're in a hurry for something, in my opinion. I mean, that's the only reason I would do that.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know if it was 50 Hummers or if it was 35, but there was a huge convoy today that we drove right past. And 2 days ago we drove past a huge convoy. I drove past 3 convoys last week. And like I said, I'm used to the monthly ones. I see them once a month usually. I'm driving these freeways so much, I see them. I'll catch in the small end of them, or we'll catch up to them. But I've been seeing them twice, 3 times a week most weeks, including seeing all of the helicopter travels. There's helicopter travels nonstop all day. It seems like there's helicopters going either that way or this way, and it's not 1 or 2. It'll be 4, 5, 6 of these huge helicopters flying really low. And I'm used to what are those big what are those big? I don't know, the really, really big, wide airplanes that they do the drop-offs with.
Talking about C-130s?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the name of it is, but
is it a prop plane or is it?
It is a prop. Yeah, it's got 4 prop.
Yeah, that's a C-130.
Yeah, it's 4 props. So I'm used to seeing those flying up and down because I drive past the March Air Force Base every single day.
Right.
Every day I drive past that, and when I go to work, they're flying them up and around, up and around. When I come home, they're still flying them up and around. Or they're flying the jets up and around. So I'm used to those every single day, but the military convoys, the boots on the ground where there's actual Hummers and MRAPs driving, that's not something I'd see every day, and it's come to the point where I'm seeing it multiple times a week.
Right.
So it's just they've definitely upped their presence. They're out more, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Well, they're going somewhere.
Yeah, they're doing something.
They're going there more frequently for some reason, which I don't know currently. From what I understand, I don't know why that would be. Unless there's a plan for the Ukraine, which you wouldn't go train at 29 Palms or at Fort Irwin to get ready to go to Ukraine. Yeah,
I don't know. I've noticed more of a presence, noticed more helicopters, and I'm not used to the helicopters every day, and I'm not used to the convoys, but they're everywhere now.
How's it going, everybody?
Oh, snap.
I got it to work.
Oh, you didn't miss nothing, Mule. Don't worry.
Oh, I missed some of it. I watched some of it, but then
Missed the Bruce Jenner part.
Good. I don't mind missing Bruce Jenner and his stupid kids. I did have a question for you, HT,
right.
about this whole riot gear stuff.
I just answered your question.
Yeah, I did watch part of your video. For decades, they've been training to deal with riots on the streets of America.
Okay, so Mule's talking about this video that went out the other day, and everybody's up in arms out it. Even the old Marine One and Prepared Mind and all these other former Marines. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a good thing. I'm not judging the reasoning behind having Marines do riot control, but they have been doing this for decades. The MUSOC unit has been training to do riot control for the purposes of evacuating an embassy ever since I've been in.
Oh, okay. See, I couldn't get.
And I said that in my video. You didn't watch till the end.
I must have missed it. But, well, I have lots of distractions right now.
Well, and I
But
understand, and what like I said in the video though, Marines hate doing riot control. We think, I mean, because it's not lethal. We're not trained to have that mindset of, tapping you on the forehead or, hitting you with a stick versus, pulling the trigger. It's not ingrained in us, so it's miserable. It's a miserable job. But they've been training for riot control basically to support embassies if they ever had to go evacuate one during a riot or civil unrest, which happened in Liberia and several other places in the last 20 years that they've actually put it to use.
I just figured after I ran, they shoot every swinging dick outside the fence.
Right. But yeah, it's been ongoing. It's a regular thing. Happens regularly. I mean, for lack of, I mean, I can't tell you how often, but it's a pretty regular thing. You can look back. You can search Marines riot control training, and you'll find pictures and videos probably from the early '90s, if not earlier.
If you did it when you were in, then yeah, okay, I'm cool.
Well, I don't say it'd be cool. I mean, we didn't like it, and it could be used for nefarious means, right? I mean, it goes back to the whole premise: Marines do what they're trained to do, and they follow orders. Well, to a certain extent, that's right, and yeah, it could be used on the streets of America.
Hey, so high
that's what's concerning.
What about all them staging out there in that area? Is that normal
You talking about in Yermo and Barstow?
for that base?
That I don't. I mean, I don't know why you. Like I said, I don't know why you would be out there for that long. I mean, you would be in transition, like to go to Fort Irwin, maybe.
Well, when they park,
unless you're parking there to get on the rail line to get pushed further east for some reason. But usually they stage in Barstow. Usually they don't stage out in Yermo for that stuff. Usually they get on the train in Barstow and get shipped east.
Yeah, I think maybe you should watch the video so you can see how they're like lined up and shit. Cause I don't know, to me it doesn't.
They're just staged there. They're not like line. I mean, it's nothing special. They're just all parked, staged like they're getting ready to load up on the train.
I know,
or something.
But like driving out there ever since fucking I can remember, I've never seen them all lined up like that.
Right. Like I said, I don't know why they would do that. I mean, because usually
I always stop right there. I always stop right there, usually to take a piss and get gas.
Okay, TMI on the gas. I got you, but
I guess
I don't
we
know.
just got to sell. It's probably they're going out to the Chinese to pay off some of our debt.
Oh, they're going to ship them out. Well, then they would go out to Port of Long Beach. Though. They'd ship them out of Long Beach. They wouldn't take them there.
With what's going on or what's about to commence, I don't know about that, man.
The thing is, I mean, this is the thing about it. This is why this stuff is unusual or suspicious. Or Jade Helm is supposed to be mainly 1,500 special operators, right? There's not a lot of heavy equipment. There's not a lot of vehicles that are going to be involved or shouldn't be involved in that. If you look at it. But there's a lot of stuff moving around, right? So something's not. What you're saying and what's going on the ground are two different things, So something's not right.
What if you imagine it like this, possibly hypothetically, just something, throwing it out there? Okay, the East, their nuts are totally cut off. The East Coast there's no balls out there. Maybe you could go down to Florida and a couple of those other spots. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe okay, but that's basically the South. But the East Coast, their nuts are gone. The Midwest is in the midst of getting their fucking nuts cut off, and the Southwest, well, definitely the Southwest is like basically the most rebellious fucking type of gun owning fucking. We are nothing like the Midwest or the East at all. Once you get out.
Hold on a second now. Midwest is turned more states to constitutional carry than. You ain't constitutional carry, Tony. You may be close, but you ain't it.
And it just got shut down in the legislature too.
Yeah, so us here in the Midwest ain't ready to bend over just yet.
No, I understand that, but in the government's eyes, the way the government's looking at it, the West is fucking untamed still. I mean, even California's got these fucking shitty ass laws and everything's so restricted and fucked up, but motherfuckers in California got guns. I don't give a fuck if they got a bunch of old fucking pre-ban shit. I know a lot of motherfuckers in California still have a lot of fucking guns. You know, and that's where all these operations are going down is out here. So what if they're like trying to see what it takes to control these cities, knowingly or unknowingly? You know what I mean? Like obviously they could roll out everything and everybody could see it visually, but what if just for whatever the fuck they're doing, they're trying to put these cities on lock? You know, still let people move in and out of the cities, you know, driving and shit, but they got fucking 1,500 drones in the sky or whatever. Everybody's accounted for, is my opinion. I mean, I don't know, but what do you think about that?
I don't think the Southwest is quite as rebellious as you think it is.
No?
No.
I mean, in their
I
eyes, I'm not.
think I still don't think they're going to use the military against this. I still think that it would cause a divide in the military, which would cause the civil war in the country,
Well,
and
that's
that's definitely not their plan. They don't want a division; they want control.
yeah, but they
So
gotta take that chance because
no, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have to take that chance
they can't keep
because
doing.
when the economic system collapses, if or when, and it does, they implement the police state, which is what they have more control over. They have more control over the use of police force than they do over a military, which is still very much divided on Casi Posse Comitatus and those things, right? You know, that's why I think either the military movements, um, I don't know. I mean, you can only speculate, but it's for a foreign war, or to put them in a place where they can't be effective against a foreign invasion. One or the other.
I don't believe that it's got anything to do with foreign shit. I believe that they want to basically, like, I would guess, simulate having control over certain cities that they find or they deem to be, you know what I mean, in the way when shit goes down. Because I don't know, man. I just see how the country is divided up, how it's been. I mean, I was telling my girl the other day, you know, like we were watching Death Wish, the first one, and that's like back in the 70s. And the gun laws in New York were fucked up then. And where do they go from there? Totally fucked out of their minds now. So all these generations later, all these decades later, whatever, people are just accepting of what the fucking rules are in New York. They don't even.
You want to find out something even crazier, Tony? The NRA was founded in New York.
You want to know something even crazier? Most of the people in fucking New York, they just don't say nothing. They buy it from the back of somebody's car and keep it in their house. There's plenty of guns in New York that the police know they can't touch. Just nobody wants to get caught with one. You know, I mean, I grew up in New York in the 70s and 80s, and the gun laws, you know, was a year in jail if you got caught with a gun. That didn't stop anybody from carrying one. You know, guaranteed year in the slam, no questions asked. If you're not supposed to have a gun, you get caught with one, you were going. But that didn't stop anybody I fucking knew from keeping one in their pocket. You know, and that's the problem. That's the problem with all these fucking laws. I mean, look at them today. We all scream about, oh, the Second Amendment is my concealed carry permit. Well, for a lot of us, that's true. We're in states where you can't do shit, or it's high costs, or there's all kinds of hoops you have to roll through, and plenty of people still roll out armed to the fucking teeth. You know, we just go out knowing we're going to have to take our chances if we ever get into that bad situation on either side. If somebody tries to rob us, you're in a bad situation. If the cops stop you and want to go searching you and want to find out what's on you, you're in a bad situation. But you know, if you live freely, you accept those consequences.
I don't know. I think, to me, I think this whatever the fuck they're gonna do is, I don't think nothing's gonna happen. I don't think it's actually they're gonna roll nothing out. But I think it's like just like their other fucking bullshit ass drills, their dirty bomb drills and everything else. They're gonna roll out a drill for something that they're planning on that's coming up, basically. I think it could be. I mean, the financial collapse has to come sometime. I mean, I've never seen. Has there ever been an economy propped up for so long on bullshit?
Nope. This is the biggest bubble in recorded history.
I mean, you listen to the news, and tomorrow the stock market is down. Then the next day, it fucking shoots up and recovers, and it's the fucking largest recovery in history. And I mean,
Right?
it's like the
What? See,
weatherman. It's like go
what
ahead.
confuses me is sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's just like the weatherman trying to predict the fucking weather when they're spraying chemtrails in the sky, and he just for the life of him he can't figure out the fucking weather. You know, to save his soul.
Yep. Yeah. What confuses me about this whole Jade Helm thing is it's supposed to be a live fire exercise, right? I heard that somewhere that it's supposed to be a live fire exercise. What do they need that for? I don't get that. High Desert. Anybody?
Yeah, the live fire. I don't know, just use an excuse to burn up all the ammunition that they supposedly took from the market that we could have bought.
I hadn't heard it was supposed to be live fire. I had
Yeah, I
watched a
heard.
video just recently about how it's more going to be a tech fire than a live fire exercise. That's why they don't need that many troops. If you watched, there was a video out the other day talking about how Raytheon and a few other companies, that's where Jade Helm comes from. They're two separate tech systems.
Yeah, I heard it was supposed to be a live fire and that the police were being reported to ignore shots fired coming in because they will get it due to that they're going to have live fire exercises. And I thought to myself, why would you be shooting on the streets? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, I just hope it doesn't turn into one of these exercises that turns into a live event.
False
Yeah, I don't know how
flag.
it could. I mean, yeah, the level of false flag that it would take for that is like monumental. Huh?
Oh, you mean like the fact that they were training on 9/11 and which
Thank you,
turns
Mill. I
out
didn't want to bring that up.
how would you say
No, but I'm talking about something on a 5, 6 state level. You know, that's how big it would have to be.
okay, New York, right? What was it? New York, D.C.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Well, Pennsylvania was a. I think they were. If it was real, they were trying to strike D.C. twice. You know, 2 planes for New York, 2 for D.C. You know, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I just know the whole world's crazy these days, and it's just sick. And
Absolutely.
everybody's just, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Oh, another guy, some kid in Baltimore gets his neck snapped for looking at a cop. If you read the whole thing, all the kid did was look at the cops and run. They weren't looking for him. They weren't out on a call, nothing. They just chased down some kid that ran from the cops.
And you know, the sad thing is, I was listening to a show earlier before the Green Dragon came on, and they were justifying it. You know, basically saying, hey, it's okay. You know, he shouldn't have ran. You know, they used the proper force. You know, justifying this poor kid getting his neck snapped.
But he committed no crime. He was running because he didn't like cops.
I realize that. I realize that, Neil. What I'm saying is, I was watching a show that justified the use of force that the cops did. I was watching a show earlier that I like, and they were trying to justify. They're just backing up the police, saying, you know, hey, the cops are just doing their jobs.
Yep. Well, and there you go. You know, that's what we're up against. We're not up against the federal government as much as we are up against the drones, the slaves, the people who drank the flavor aid, you know? Because it's just fucking crazy anymore, man. You can't argue with these people. Just like the ones that are saying that the woman that got her phone smacked out of her hand and crushed by the marshal. Oh, she shouldn't have been 50 yards away from them, recording them taking down the Mongols at a family fucking barbecue, right? Over a long-term RICO case that they've been fucking with this club for a long time over, right? So Yeah. A lot of people don't know the truth. They don't want to know the truth, and they don't care about the truth. So help them fuck you.
Hmm. That's how they want it. They want us against each other. They don't want us together. They want us against each other.
Oh, for sure. That's the only way they keep power. I don't know. I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but I was in I guess you'd say, a briefing from somebody from DHS, and their biggest concern is the left and right mindsets in America coming together, because their primary examples were the Occupy Wall Street in Phoenix, where the militia came out and protected them. They were like, this is getting scary. And then they were talking about Anonymous, which I didn't know Anonymous was a left-wing movement, but talking about Anonymous banding up with the right-wing side. And then they brought up Bundy Ranch as well, which was disconcerting because, we're from Nevada. But
Well, not
it's
only that, you're sitting in the meeting going,
yeah. I walked out. It was in a large enough crowd where I could disperse myself and uh, peacefully show my opposition, I guess you'd say. But I wasn't the only one that was basically offended, I guess, for lack of a better word, because it had nothing to do with the subject matter. It was complete fear tactic. And the other people said the same thing. And these are people that aren't in the know, if you will, say, or not necessarily awake, if you will. But it was clearly the last part of the message was about the left and right wings in America coming together to unite in solidarity, basically, against the system, and that's what they're scared of. So we got to keep fighting the fight.
well, we got to start finding common ground, and there is plenty of common ground, for us for people on the left and the right to come together. But again, we all know their tactic is to divide and conquer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't stand against the police state, everybody. Why? Because the police are only picking on black people. That's why the black people are standing against the police state. They're not picking in my neighborhood until you drive across the wrong city line,
Right, for sure. Yeah, it's good that people are waking up and starting to support their neighbors more, because obviously Bundy Ranch showed what happened when people get involved. And now you got this minor situation in Oregon. People are rallying to help them out before it even gets to that level, which is good. The guy says, hey, I just want somebody to help protect my property. He's got plenty of support. And I guess looking from Haas USMC's pictures from today, they had a pretty sizable rally out there that it was BLM not go to work day versus take your kid to work day. But, there are people out there just, going out there before it gets to that level to say, no, you're not going to take it to that next level like you did before.
Yeah, my only concern with the whole entire the Baltimore thing, right, is like Mill was saying, that they turn it into it's a cops versus the blacks thing, when it shouldn't be a cops versus the blacks thing. It should be a cops versus Americans.
Yeah.
We always want to separate ourselves and make ourselves feel more special. You're no more special than me being white, or me being Hispanic and white, or someone else being black. We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we need to stop separating ourselves into these little races that we have, that we like to categorize ourselves with, and just start realizing all lives matter. Every American life matters. Nobody deserves to be treated by the way the cops are treating them, but it's what's happening, unfortunately. And until we step past those party lines and drop them, nothing's going to change, because when they say Black Lives Matter, well, then people who don't associate with blacks aren't going to feel like, hey, that's not my problem.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about people's rights, not about any certain
People's rights.
group.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely true. But I think we are gaining ground in that respect. I think we are gaining ground with people on the fringe, or people that are have identified previously as left or right. But there's a lot more people seeing through it and realizing. Today you had the GOP Senate, confirmed Retta Wrench, probably the most worst choice for Attorney General ever, and they've confirmed her as Attorney General, and so now you're going to have a tax on every form of natural rights that you can imagine, and this has been approved by a GOP Senate. Where's the difference? If people don't, this will continue to wake people up, but you would think that more people would be waking up like, I can't believe this. I did not vote for this. The GOP has a complete, lock on both houses of Congress. How can this happen? Well, because they're in it together. They're supporting the corporate government. That's why.
Bird can't fly with just one wing. He needs both of his wings flapping together.
If it's a shipbird or the Blue Falcon, right?
Same reason with the TPP thing. This fucking thing that's going to just, the final coffin nail in America and in American labor, right? And it's the same fucking thing. But that, I think, it might be the thing. Well, I don't think so, but hopefully it could be the thing to finally get people to wake up to the fact that it's all the same. It's two cheeks of the same ass, Because here, all these union people put fucking Obama in power, or help to, and they're going to get fucked over in this TPP Act. Just like they got fucked when Clinton instilled NAFTA, They're all fucking just money-hungry motherfuckers. They don't give a shit where the money comes from. And they've pretty much destroyed the middle class here in America and sucked it dry, All this supposed recovery, who the fuck recovered? Go check the numbers. The 1% did just fine from the crash to the recovery and beyond. Everybody else been fucked.
Not so much, yep.
So anybody check out those Being the Gray Man videos that Resist Tyranny's been forwarding? They're kind of I don't know, I think I've only seen the first one, but there's several of them out there. But it's basically the art of camouflage, like going out in public and trying to blend in so people don't remember you or don't notice you.
I didn't check out the Gray Man. I did check out High Desert Pioneers on not being the Gray Man.
But he talks about driving cars that just look like everybody else's car and they're about the same color, and your dress is kind of inappropriate for your environment, so nobody notices you, and people try to engage conversation with you, and it's necessarily about you're just completely kind of giving irrelevant answers, so it just gives them a mind fuck and they don't remember you, kind of thing,
Yeah, you have to. I watched High Desert Pioneers, and man, that really enlightened me on going out and trying to. I mean, if you can explain it, High Desert. If you guys haven't watched this video, go watch it. It's amazing on how.
Which video? It wasn't titled about the Gray Man. Are you talking about the one? What was the title?
I can't remember the. I'll pull the title up right now. But you titled it as a response to somebody talking about being a gray man.
I didn't watch that.
We're talking about Sly Tiger and Seller talking about going across and doing a recon and how you would do it, whether or not to be a gray man.
Be a gray man,
right?
Yeah.
How you would do it? Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the one
a little different than what Resist is talking about. But
I haven't seen that one, but I've seen yours, which was that, and I was very, very, very enlightened off of it.
Hey,
it's common sense, man. Come on.
Shout out to Quasar Nugs. What's up, Quasar? And yeah, he says, what gets me is being a little shithead kid growing up and seeing Ross Perot on TV talking about NAFTA and GATT, and it would do this to the country. A giant sucking sound. Well, yeah, what we're hearing is the end of that sucking sound. You know when that final swirl hits the end of the toilet, and then there's that little bubble? We're almost to the bubble. And once that breaks, everything will settle down. It'll take a while, but it'll settle down. But yeah, I think TPP is going to be, that's the final nail in the coffin of America, as far as being a superpower. And when you read some of the shit that they're talking about in this TPP, where corporations are going to be able to sue governments over laws, how copyright's not going to be held accountable across country lines, all kinds of fucked up shit. We're fucked. Any manufacturing that's left here in the country is going to be gone. Intellectual property out the fucking window. It's just crazy.
What about car manufacturers don't want you to work on your own car? They want to make it illegal for you to work on your own shit.
Yeah, I seen that Mopar's trying to get that passed. Chrysler.
Well, this shit would never break, but...
Well, Chrysler isn't an American company. Remember, that's the fucking Italians. Chrysler stopped being an American company fucking, what, 25 years ago?
I couldn't tell you on how long they've been. I know that they still have American roots, but I don't know about Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and what is the
The
other
whole
one?
company is owned by Fiat.
Yeah, owned by Fiat.
And it
Like
was
John
in
So yeah, they're
foreign
trying
hands
to.
before that. They bought it off of, what, Daimler Chrysler and fucking, yeah, so.
Yeah,
Or all
they
these
want
pieces
to
of
implement that. Go ahead, sorry, Jim.
all these pieces of equipment have so much software embedded in them. Like they're talking about the John Deere tractors. The John Deere is basically saying you don't own your tractor because our software makes it work, and you have a license to the software, but if we don't want you to have it, you don't own it. So they're going to do the same shit with everything, and then use the Digital Millennium Copyright Act or something to protect their claim against you don't own your property. I guess you got a shell of a car, but it won't run without their software, so you don't own it.
The funny thing is, cars used to run off of rotary caps.
Well, the funny thing is they still can. You can
Yeah.
got any fucking engine, and I can put it back. I don't give a fuck what if I have to change fucking intake manifold, exhaust manifold. I don't give a fuck. I'll throw a carburetor on a piece of shit. They start pulling that.
Mhm.
I'll run it with fucking string. Fuck you. I know how to hardwire an old fucking Chevelle, so fuck you.
Yep, my cars drive by wire. I don't need a
Yeah.
computer.
Well, you got them in most cars, but you can take them out too.
Yeah, well, I drive. Everyone here knows I drive an older vehicle, and I'm super happy I drive an older vehicle because I'm not being tracked by a GPS unit. There's no
You're not the only one.
monitors in there. The damn thing doesn't even have freaking power doors. I gotta push the little button down to lock it.
That's one less thing to break. So where we at on the topic? On the topics, HTP, where we at? What's up, brother Mule? Long time, buddy.
Yeah, we're grinding pretty hard on Jade Helm 15 and martial law, and then we got kind of where we kind of going off here now.
What's next, Bob? What's next?
I guess we're just talking about current laws they're trying to pass.
Charm City.
What's
up, brother?
We talked a little bit about that, Charm City, about how the fucking dude wasn't breaking no laws, didn't do anything, just saw the cops, don't like cops, turned and ran. What do the cops do? Chase the fucker down and snap his fucking neck. Okay? And then threw him in the back of the paddy wagon, hooked and cooked, and he's bouncing around in a paddy wagon with a broken neck and it severed his fucking spine. Common sense can play that shit out. I mean, you don't have to watch fucking more than like 5 episodes of Bones to be able to figure that shit out. Even from the video, when they first grabbed him up and handcuffed him, you could see he didn't have any control of his legs, barely had control of his head. They snapped that kid's neck.
His leg was dragging, brother. His leg was dragging.
Both of them were dragging.
I'll tell you one fucking thing, brother Mule. We are not going to be a next Ferguson. I'll tell you that much.
Well, like Chris was saying, he watched the show a little bit ago, and people were talking about how well he shouldn't have ran. He didn't break the fucking law. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. You weren't looking for the guy. You didn't have because he's an American in a bad neighborhood of a certain color. Just running is now illegal.
Right.
Well, we already figured it out. At least in Pennsylvania, playing basketball against cops can get you busted too. Don't beat them because they'll bust you. And like Chris was saying, it's not a black-white thing. It's an American against blue. We are living under tyranny. This is not a free America anymore. We live in a police state. We live under tyranny right now. We have this illusion of freedom that no longer applies to the reality of the situation. And yet most people are not awake to that. Because seriously, even the guys out west in fucking free-loving states where they can walk around with guns, try and do some other things other than your gun shit, right? Try and resist cops from fucking checking, even with your gun, searching you, asking you for ID, and not expect to get hooked and crooked, right?
Yeah.
pulling you out of border
Trucks,
patrol
yeah.
checkpoints,
Yeah.
100 miles in
Yeah.
from the damn border.
Because they don't think it's going to happen to them, that's why. Because they don't think it's going to happen to them or their city. And like I said earlier, you never know where it's going to happen. You never know.
And that's the thing, G, it just happens everywhere in every city. Whether, video or not, every fucking small town, man, from fucking South Carolina to Baltimore to fucking, no shit, Arizona, where there's a family fight, and all everywhere. Fucking
Too
police
many
states
people
everywhere.
are dying, brother. We have 1,200 people that die every year from these fuckers. 1,200. And think about the people that are not. Think about the murders and the killings that are not recorded in California, Baltimore, D.C., all over the world, all over the United States. Think about how many shootings there are. People dying that are not recorded. News aren't there. They don't give a fuck. That's just 1,100 is just what's recorded. And like caregiver said, 9/11, you have 3,500 people that died from the thing. 3,500. Soon we're going to have 2,000 people getting killed every day.
If you read, if you listen to some of the people on the internet who are a little more tinfoil hat than me,
Well, that's
there's a
not
whole
possible.
website out there. Yeah, there are. But there's a whole website out there. I forget who shared it the other day. But they're talking about we're going to lose like shit. 300 million people here in the next 10 years at most.
Oh, you're talking about the old man in front of the map?
Yeah,
It's-
but if you follow all the way through it, and it ends up giving you links to the website where there really is a think tank that is talking about, giant depopulation in the next 15 years.
Oh, yeah, they're called the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg Group. Yeah, those organizations.
Well, those are the organizations promoting it, but some, exposing it. You know what I mean? And there's a website up that shows what these basically bets are being called. You know what I mean? They're calling their bets. They've run the numbers and they say this is what's going to happen within the next 15, 20 years. And most of the I don't know what we call it, first world is going to be majorly depopulated. So, and it's not like the population is going to grow. No, the whole population of the Earth is going to be tanking, and the biggest place it's supposed to happen is Africa, Europe, and North America.
Yeah, there's a website called Deagle, Deagel. I don't know, it's like a defense contractors kind of website.
That's the one.
And they list out the military expenditures and shit like that. It shows the United States population is going to be 67 million in 2025. So I don't know. But the world population wasn't going to drop that much, so we're going to account for more than half the losses or something.
That's the website. Well, us in Europe. Most of the losses are going to happen with us in Europe. Because the loss in Africa, I guess, is semi-steady. It's just devastating. But yeah.
Can I make an announcement? Next a week from Saturday, May Day, is Jade Day. It's the Global Marijuana March. They're going to have rallies in hundreds of cities all across the world, and a lot of it's going to be like protests at in the states anyway, protests at the state capitals, and I'll be up in Des Moines at the Iowa one, and it's usually a pretty good time. After the second, check out the videos online of the rallies they have in Europe. They have really big parades, and they have a lot of fun celebrating the Global Marijuana March. So
yes, sir.
You get to one near you, that's cool. Otherwise, check out the videos afterwards and just rally support for the cause. Just end cannabis prohibition.
No doubt, we'll be there.
Hell yeah, and I can't wait to see the party in Denver or Boulder, right, or Portland or Seattle.
I can't wait for DC, baby. Be nice fun in DC.
Didn't they have one in DC on 420 Day?
Every 4th of July.
I think next year, the 2016 election, California is going to be the next to recreationalize it.
They should. I don't know why it's not now.
It barely lost last time that we had it on. Barely lost by a very slim margin.
If they legalized in all states, how do you think the crime rates would go? Cover all of you guys. What do y'all think?
Well, the crime rate on weed would drop, obviously, but there's always going to be other crimes.
I'm just saying all around. You think the crime rate would go up, go down?
I
It
guarantee
goes
you.
down. They have the stats in Denver for over a year now, right? Crime gone down across the board.
That's what I think.
Once they legalized for recreational use and stopped arresting people for anything other than like DUI and shit like that, because you're not gonna get drunk and disorderly off of weed. It's just not. Right? But you can get driving while impaired, right? But besides that, crime overall, everything, robbery, rape, everything's gone down. Everything.
Just like my friend I have a couple of friends that you guys know. They've been in the service, military and police, and they said they never had a call where somebody overdosed and had a car accident because of weed. They never went there and saw somebody got beat up because of weed. Weed is like, it's a cure, man. It fucking cures illnesses and viruses, and you never go up there and see somebody have weed muscles, like they say, whiskey muscles. You don't see that shit. People get fucking drunk and fucking alcohol. Alcohol makes people change, man. You know as well as I do, Neil. Alcohol is poison. It just kills you. Kills your insides, outsides, your moods. Just makes you become a different person. But you don't see that with weed, though.
And that's why I keep smoking weed and I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking a long time ago, and I keep smoking weed because, I know I'm an Irishman. I know what it's like to be fucking hammered,
Right.
And I own two bars, bankrupted them both,
Right.
know? And the worst alcohol, the biggest gateway drug besides like air, is alcohol.
That's right.
And the way we do it here in America, we turn everything into an abusive situation. It doesn't have to be, right? But we turn everything into it, right? Part of the thing, if you look at the way the Europeans and other countries and other places that do have alcohol, the way they treat it, it's treated differently. So you don't end up with the falling down drunks we have here in America. You don't have as much high It's more of a steady alcoholism than a high alcoholism, right? Here in the States, we treat it totally different. So we promote addiction in everything, everything from shopping to drugs to alcohol to tobacco, anything. We promote addiction here in America. You can't get enough of anything.
Right.
That's why we turned into a peace country too.
They always want more.
Yeah.
Happy 420.
I heard that they had a 420-day rally in D.C., and then some congressman was appalled that the park police weren't arresting people for smoking joints.
That's an every day. That's every year. You always got to do something. I don't know, man. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely for me. Shit, I didn't puff it. Just go ahead. Some people like to drink. Some people like to do this. Some people like to gamble. Everybody has a thing. But if more people would smoke, you see a lot less assholes out and about. Everybody would be too fucking stoned to be getting in trouble. Be too lazy. They wouldn't want to get out the house and do their fucking daily activity bullshit. They let into trouble. They'd be too damn stoned. It's like, I can't do that, man. I'm fucked up, dude. I'm just chilling. Good. Keep chilling.
I think Drew's working on that right now.
Yeah, sorry, brother Drew, I had to mute you. I think it sounded like you were building a house. I knew you were going through your closet or whatever, but you just unmute yourself, brother. Whatever you want to
Yeah,
talk.
what do you think about Christie coming out saying how he's so anti-pot?
I can't. It's such an idiot, man.
Who is?
Chris
Who's an
Christie. He said if he
uh,
wins the presidency, the first thing he's going to do is crack down on all the states that legalize it.
well, that's one motherfucker that ain't gonna win shit. He already lost. So
That guy's
on
just
to
a
the
fat
next one.
turd. That guy's not. Nah. New Jersey? Nah, that guy doesn't have many accomplishments on his record.
Yeah,
No way
off
he
to,
would be ever president.
he's garbage. Off to the next one.
I mean, Hillary's going to win anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's what
Don't
I've been
say
telling
that,
y'all.
dude.
I've been telling y'all that for 2 months now.
Man, that would be the worst.
2 months.
GOP will never get their shit together. You know, if they're going to stay divided like that, saying, "Oh, you know, we hate pot people," and then all the Ron Paul people that came into the party that could have, you know, moved them forward, but they're just going to push them aside, so they're going to lose the election.
Fucking weed cures his dumb fucking ass. What the fuck does he know except for banana splits? Fucking weed cures people every fucking day. It's a fact. While that motherfucker's sitting back fucking eating his cheesesteaks and eating his fucking jelly donuts, getting fatter by the second. You know, the fuck does he know? Just because he's got he's got the munchies. That's why, because he can't control his eating habits when he's fucking stoned. So many, and that's another thing. There's so many people that smoke and they're closet smokers. Closet smokers. And you know, one weed, and Drew will tell you, you smoke weed, and you know this. You can tell when the man smokes weed. You don't even need to know him. You just look at him, it's like, yeah, he's a smoker. You know, and I'm pretty good about that. I'm probably about eight out of 10. You know, I can tell. I can tell. I'm not just a bootyologist. I'm a weediologist. I can just smell you and tell you if you stroke or not.
So what I missed sounds like it went off the rails already.
No. Just a lot of closet smokers, HD. A lot of closet smokers, you know. A lot of people that say they don't smoke weed, but they really do. And if you legalized it, HD, how do you think the crime rates would go if it was legalized in all states? How would you feel about that?
I think crime would. I mean, obviously crime would go down because it would not be legal, and I mean, petty crimes like that are not really crimes, or like what, half of all incarcerations or whatever.
Well, like Neil said, Colorado, it's proven that numbers have gone down. DC numbers are going down. That's big for DC. You know?
Right.
And I think, like I told everybody, they'll be all fucking stoned to be getting in trouble. You know? All your troublemakers were like, oh man, I'm stoned. I can't do that. I'm fucked up. Good. Keep sleeping. Keep chilling. Stay out of trouble. Everybody will be a lot nicer. Just be more smooth. A lot more smoother. And you know me.
Yeah.
If they're going to make it legal for one state, make it legal for all. You know? Oh, I didn't meet nobody. I don't know why I said that.
Hey, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
There's other dragons.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, there's not. I don't think.
Mill's another thing dragon. No, he's not.
No, I'm the only one. And I didn't mute him. You did that, remember that 10 round when it kept saying you were muting what's his name and you weren't doing it? But it's doing that. But anyway. What's next? What's next, HD? What's up, Kevin Stalley?
Oh, I don't know. I just didn't know what I missed there. I just stepped away for a minute.
You're running the show, baby.
Oh, well, we're trying not to lag too much, but I was thinking about it. You know, reintroducing the channel. You know, Mule talked about. You know, we want to talk more about solutions and what we're going to do, and
Right.
how to fix things and how to move forward instead of just information and a bitch session essentially, or whatever you want to call it, or having good times all the time. But we're talking about Jade
That's why we
Helm,
got our personal accounts.
but we're talking about Jade Helm and the police state and martial law and all these things.
Right.
And like I was talking about the other day in one of my videos, is like, well, we don't have solutions for that necessarily. But we do have things we can do. I mean, you need to take action. A lot of the anxiety people show about this stuff is because we're not prepared, we're not ready. Um, our groups aren't good enough. We don't have a good enough network. If they were to drop the proverbial martial law net on us right now, how easy because when martial law comes, that means the economy's gone too, because you're not going to be able to get a gallon of milk for 250 or 350 or I don't know. It's probably $4 now, but that's gone. How are you going to be able to feed your family in martial law? How are you going to be able to make a living, because a lot of that's going to be restricted too, or not even martial law, just the police state as it gets implemented. And I think we talk about solutions and stuff. It's like you got to continue to work towards those things that instead of being afraid of this stuff, be aware and cognizant and be informed and try to be a step ahead. But you got to continue to prepare yourself more than wrapping your head around the axle about what it is and whether or not it's a real drill or whether or not it's a soft, what's our acclimatization? Are they just trying to acclimatize everybody, frog in a boiling pot of water? Well, we all know we're in the boiling pot of water. All of us that are talking about this, right? We know the water's boiling if it's not overflowing, or we may have been thrown in the fire by now. We're not sure, but you just got to continue to make yourself, more independent than you were yesterday, right? And network with your neighbors so that when things go down, somebody's got your back, you got theirs, and
Yep.
hopefully you have a way to share resources and share information for mutual survival.
Yep. And keep it going.
I don't. Who cares? I mean, I wouldn't say who cares, but at a certain point, you just got to say you're going to do what you're going to do, and they're going to bring it when they bring it.
That's why
Can we?
it's important to get prepared.
Does anybody think we can stop it? Really? Anybody
No.
out there?
No, we can't. We ain't stopping shit.
Nope.
We ain't stopped them from bending us over since I've been alive. So
Right.
yeah, we ain't stopping shit.
That's
Okay,
what I told 'em.
and like you said, we got to be prepared. But I tell you, I feel for every motherfucker in this major city. I really do. I feel for every person in a major city these days, because that's where their control is going to be. People out in the rural, that's what drones are for, and that's what all these military and whatever is for the rural, for the countryside, for where where shit's grown, and where people are spread out and free. But when you talk about cities, that's where your mass population die-off is going to happen, is in cities.
Oh, right. And that's going to be the main aim too, but they want to control the cities in a way that supports them still, supports the main part of the economy to keep the system propped up. But yeah, for sure, being in the city is not going to be good.
It's funny you talk about drones. And when I was in the Bahamas, I was listening to a story about on CNN about the guy in California that went out, saw the drone, and shot it with a shotgun.
You think that was real or staged? It looked
I thought it was. Yeah, it did look kind of flaky, but I mean, I didn't spend too much time looking at it. Like I said, I was busy going to the pool, but I mean, I was trying to gather up as much news as I can, and the only thing I saw was the dude that I just started watching CNN. I saw this police car fucking hit this dude dude went like 15 feet up in the air. I was like, damn. And then I see this situation with the Walmart. I guess he tried to steal a gun from Walmart, and yada yada, and the cruiser hit him, but I heard he deserved it, yada yada. And then I heard about of course, the Baltimore situation and the guy that shot the drone. I was like, good for you, buddy. But yeah, it did look a little flaky, but you never know. If it was real and it was real shit, more power to him. But like I said, I mean, no, we can't stop anything, but it doesn't mean that we can't be prepared and prepare our families and get your family prepared. Very important to get your family, not just you, but your family. I mean, you don't want them sitting like ducks. Uh, that's why I live my life like there's no tomorrow, man. You never know when you're gonna go. You never know what might happen to you. You know, but you definitely have to be prepared, and you have to do as best as you can to be one step ahead of the game. You know, don't let it hit you, and then you're fucking scrounging around like a frozen duck. That's why I like it when all those people, all the preppers get laughed at, for all those years. Tinfoil hats, et cetera, et cetera. People laughing. But I think we're going to be the smarter ones that get the edge above everyone else.
Well, we're a step ahead, but there's going to be a lot of us that go down just in the natural course of things.
Oh, it's normal. We're going to go down. Well, there's a lot of fucking lives, for sure.
Well, there's only one true guarantee in this life. We're all going to die.
Yeah, yep. Nothing's forever. Nothing is forever.
Death and taxes.
So, that's right. That's like my dad said. My dad said, gee, when you live, we're living in hell right now. But I said, what do you mean? He says, when you live in hell, and when you die, you go to heaven. Because this is not life. This is fucking torture. And the man tests us every day. He puts that test every day in the speed bumps. And we just got to learn how to overcome the speed bumps. Because it's a rough ride, man. Shit ain't easy. They definitely make it harder. You can't beat the system. You're going to die trying. But hey, you just got to do what you got to do. Like we said earlier, no matter how many times you fall down, it's about how many times you get back up and keep on fighting. Fighting for what you think is right. So we lose.
Yeah, you gotta fight for your right to party.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 1, 2, 3. What do we fight for? Don't
Oh,
ask
no.
me, I don't give a damn. Next stop, Afghanistan. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, I ain't got time to wonder why. We're all gonna die.
Karaoke night.
Well, we can't get a
It is a
copyright.
tavern.
I actually
love it,
suck
man.
at singing.
No, keep it going, man. Go. I'm about to start. Me and Tamara are about to start playing some quarters here.
All right. Drew's back, so I guess he's gonna have to join in playing the quarters.
Is somebody like making a shake or something? I hear this shake. Shake. What the fuck are you shaking?
Well, it's probably my shitty mic.
Hey, G, since you're in as the dragon, if I drop out and jump back in, it'll still go, right?
Yep, I got you, baby, and I'll shut it down too.
All right. No, I'm gonna pop back in. It's just I'm having.
No, I got you.
I'm trying to change my camera and it's
Just
not been working. So
just
I'll be right back.
Yep, I got you. I'll have this bitch open like fucking 7-Eleven, baby.
Yeah, you want to go off the wall? What do they say? Some thing on G Plus about CLP does not make a good sexual lubricant.
Really?
Somebody went to the hospital with a man with a problem after he was playing with himself using CLP or something.
I use that shit
The
every day.
level of stupid is unsurprising.
Oh, God, is it?
Cleans, lubricates, and protects.
I tried running my chat earlier, trying to get an update on that B-more situation. My router fucked up, and I just really hope it fucking. I know these fuckers aren't going to get justice. I know we're not going to see justice, but it would be really nice if these motherfuckers get it. And I'm sorry to be stuck up on it, but it's fucking. I'm sorry to be so stuck on it, but it's fucking 17 miles from my house. You know what I mean? And it's close. My fucking office is right down the street where they were today. was going to go to my office today, but I wasn't going to go through that shit because I knew if I went there, I wouldn't come home till like 1, 2 in the
Alright.
morning,
Hey,
whatever.
G. Oh, so
Yes,
you
sir.
came back in? Okay, you're back in as Dragon. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought HD was going to come back in as
It don't
HD.
matter. I told him I'll lock it up. I got it. It's all good. You guys do
Nah,
your
my
thing.
camera just wasn't. I've been trying to get my camera on ever since like 2 hours ago. I think it was because I dropped. I was watching it on my own channel on the sides. I think it like messes it up somehow.
It
Sit back
does.
and relax, HD. Great work. Good job. You can put your feet up, dog. We got you back, brother.
What do you
Great
think I've been
fucking
doing
chat.
this whole time?
Great chat tonight, HDP. Great chat. Good topics. I'm happy to see you. You can ask Mule. The whole time I thought Mule was doing it. And I always text Mule before we go around. I was like, yo, Mule, link it up, or yo, or did my normal call for him to send me a link, and you send me a link, I come on, I see your ass, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, I want to
How
say
many,
thanks, HD.
I'm like,
I'm
how
having
many
tech
mil?
issues and personal stuff, so I'm not going to be able to do it. So I
We got you,
appreciate
man.
it, G.
Yes, sir. We got you, baby. So
And
that's what
you,
we
G,
do.
you came right in. That's what I turned when I got back from what should I do. I saw you guys were running it, just first you two, and then who came in? Tony, I think.
Yep, 10 round, Tony. 10
Tony,
round
then
came in.
10 round.
No, 10 round came in right after me. 10 round, me, 10 round and HD were on for a while. Holding
Yeah.
it down, Brother James came in, and Tony came in, and you came in.
I want to thank you guys for
And
doing
then
it.
Andrew came. Andrew, we want to hear from you, my brother. Andrew's first time. It's not his first time on the chats with us. He's been chilling with us. He's a cool
No,
cat.
but I still didn't get to hear the story of busting chains and having, to
Oh,
drag
Lord
Tony out.
Almighty.
Did you guys say it on air? Where's Tony? We
Oh,
need to embarrass the fuck out of his ass.
well,
Gone
10
for the night,
round
but
is 10 round and fucking
Tom
Andrew
might
are
be
going to
able
be the
to
narrators.
elaborate a little better than me.
10 round got the whole story, baby, down pat. Yeah, we went.
All
They
right.
went all the way to Bundy Ranch. They went to Bundy Ranch to get a fucking tractor. That motherfucker snapped chains. But 10 round is the narrator for that story.
Hey, 10 round, I want to hear that story. I'm sure a lot of people do. I got booted. That was the night I started having problems, but I got booted on that one, and that was
Great
it.
stories. Great
I've been
story.
having
Great
issues.
story.
And the last thing I knew, Tony was up to his axles and covering the transaxle, and I mean, buried the tranny in that thing, and
Oh, they were
I'm pretty sure starved the motor, and
He still has dirt all over that car.
oh, I bet.
Dirt all over
M&P, get your ass in here, brother. I know you're listening.
I don't know if Tony wants me to tell it on.
Oh, stop. It's fucking breaking chains. What the fuck? Yeah, y'all act like we're fucking talking about the fucking mob here. We're talking about trucks in the mud. Really?
All right.
We can't talk about trucks.
Sorry, Tom. I know you didn't want to talk about it, but
Oh, I'm talking about it.
Not here. You can
Motherfucking
talk
Jade.
about it all you want.
You motherfucking right, we're going to talk about it regardless. Big G's on this bitch. Tell a phone, telegram, tell a G. Let's get
Well,
with it.
I didn't know he didn't want to talk about it, and I really don't care because that shit was cracking me the fuck up. Even though I got kicked
You
off.
guys there that night? I was video cameraing everything.
Oh, Andrew knows it all, baby. Andrew.
Oh, I know.
Andrew
I know. We
was
still
there
need to
from the
see the
beginning.
video. Well, we better not see the video because he was
didn't even
practicing a
want
lot
to
of
see it.
freedom.
Tony didn't even want to see it. I forced him to watch it.
Go ahead, Go ahead, 10 round. Kick it.
Yeah.
All right. But, they went through chain after chain after chain, and fucking H2O went in there and just went zzz, started running the wheels, and fucking Podemsky was like, no. MMP was like, no, stop. And she just kept revving it up, and as she kept doing it, they kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And fucking, yeah, I mean, they went through four sets of chains. They went to Bundy Ranch to get a big boy tractor.
Well, see, that's what cracks me up. That just tells me you people don't know how to deal with a truck in the mud.
You're muted 10 round. Yeah, they got a rocket, go slow. Oh, we told them how to do it, but when we're pounded, Brother Mule, that's a different story.
But if you're digging that deep, yank it to the side. Get some fresh.
Well, you rock it back and forth, get some leverage. That's what's just like the snow, baby. Just like the snow. The snow and the mud are the same. How do you get the car out of the snow? You rock it. You rock it.
Well,
You rock
mud's
it.
no. Snow and mud ain't the same. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not the same, but
Okay, I'm
No,
unmuted.
mud's sticky as
yes,
fuck.
yes, it is.
I'm unmuted. Let me explain it, okay?
Go ahead. There you go,
Explain.
narrator.
When I showed up in the middle of the night, like 1:30 in the morning, I show up, and Tony and I go look at it, and there's a 3-foot up step of where it's a sheer cliff. There's no ramp. That's the reason why Tony had to slow down, because he's going to run into that and ruin the front of his truck, or turn around, and that's how he got stuck.
Yeah.
So by the time I got there, Tony had buried himself to the point where there was nothing underneath his tire, where his truck was so stuck in the mud that when I pulled it, I tried to pull it out backwards, and mind you, this mud is so slippery that we were slipping around trying to just walk. You know, it would stick to your shoes or your boots or whatever, and you would slide.
Yeah, it's
So,
more clay than mud.
More
Yeah,
clay
it's
than
more
mud, exactly. And there was a lot of people with bigger trucks than what I had, and they were so afraid that if they were to get on it, they would just get themselves stuck. So I didn't care. I figured I'm not going to get my Bronco stuck. I backed my Bronco up, try to pull Tony, and all it does is bend my bumper.
Yeah.
It bends my bumper down, and I gave it everything I got, and I couldn't move it. So the Chevy Silverado 2500 HD comes up, and he tries to pull Tony up and out.
From the front.
From the front, and he hooks up to his tow hook, and we have a 35, 40-foot chain, and he gives himself a good 15-foot distance, and he floors it, doesn't move Tony an inch. Doesn't move him an
How
inch.
stupid can you fucking...
Hold on, Mule, hold on.
Yeah,
It gets better.
worse. It's better.
Wait a second. I just got one question. Were there any people to the sides? Because when that chain snaps, it's like bullets, okay?
There was nobody close. We knew better. We backed everybody up. So he backs up even further, takes a run and start, floors it, takes a run and start, snaps the chain. Chain whips back at the truck, breaks the tailgate hatch. Smacks the back of the truck, whips the tailgate hatch, breaks it. He gives up right then and there. He's like, all right, you're stuck. There's nothing we can do. That's the first chain breaks, right? So Tony, Drew, and what was your friend's name, Drew?
Oh, my cousin Javi.
His cousin? Yeah, we all load up. We drive up to the Bunny Ranch and ask him, hey, can you come get the tractor and pull us out? Because we're stuck. So they say, yeah. Come there. They get the tractor. The guy in the tractor says, okay, I'm going to pull you out. Tony, at this point, hands me the keys because he's like, dude, I'm tired of this. Please help me out. Help this truck out. So I said, all right. Because I knew what to do. And if he wouldn't have buried himself in, I could have easily just had enough leverage to pull him out with the Bronco, but he was to the point where he was on the frame.
Yeah, see, here's the first dumbass move they did that night. They left water in the truck.
Yes.
So you want to know how they got buried? I could tell you.
Oh,
while Drew and Tony were walking back to the campsite.
You left out the fact that Tony's battery was dead too.
Yeah, Tony also let his battery die. Tony also let his battery die.
Did. They left her in there. They left her in a fucking running truck. Well, actually, Tony turned it off on the way out and left just the radio on. But yeah. And thank God for that, because you might have killed water just from the fucking carbon monoxide.
So, the tractor comes. The tractor guy connects the tractor, tries to pull it, and realizes, holy hell, this thing is stuck. And mind you, this is a tractor with like 8-foot tall tires. It's not a little tractor. This ain't no little Bobcat. This is a huge, huge tractor. Tries to pull it out and realizes, okay, I need to get into a lower gear. Pops it into a lower gear. The tractor has so much torque, and he's not going more than a couple, maybe a mile an hour, 2 miles an hour at the most. Has so much torque between the chain that it shears, boom, busts the chain. Chain number 2 broken. Then the guys are like scratching their head and like, all right, this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to use the 3-point hitch in the back, lift the truck up, and pull it out. So they bring the chain in closer. They bring the tractor in real close. They hook the tractor through the tow hitch, lifts the truck up, and as he's doing that, I feel the whole truck release the suction, and it buckles like, you know, you feel the whole truck buckle. And he pulls it out, and then when he's pulling it out, you can just feel just everything doing its power to not release the truck. Pulls it out, and then he pulls me back, 30, 40 feet, and the truck was unstuck, but Tony almost got stuck again. It was pretty muddy. It was pretty muddy, you know.
He did. Yeah.
It was bad. You know?
Well, and that night, Tony didn't understand there was a low gear in his truck.
Yeah. Well, even if there was, the way he was going, he was kind of, if you could imagine, he was going into an area.
I understand. I've dealt with some of the arroyos out there. I lived out there years and years ago, but we did stupid shit. I fucking jumped one when didn't see it in the middle of the night, ended up jumping one, something like that, in the middle of the night in a Bronco too.
Yeah, see, it's a little easier on the Bronco too.
For doing the same shit, right? Driving at night with a bunch of friends all out in the desert-y, so that means, you know, freedom, and you're doing whatever the fuck you want. Like, so yeah, I got it. Well, I was cracking up the whole time when he's driving. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be funny. Not for him.
That ride lasted like a minute, like 60 seconds, and I saw the footage too. It was just like, got stuck all quick. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, some good stories. His kids will never forget the adventure, probably. Yeah, remember that Bundy Ranch thing where Dad got the truck stuck?
Yeah, they'll be reminding him of that when he's like 50 or something.
Oh yeah, and water will never let him live it down.
In fucking 10 round, took him 6 hours to get there. Fucking they didn't get the shit out till 10 o'clock in the morning. This was like an all-night morning thing.
Yeah.
Still had fun though, right, Chris?
Oh, absolutely. It was a very good trip.
Because you knew going in. You were balls to the wall. I got toe strapped. Fuck him. I'm coming.
And fucking M&P was on me. He's like, oh, man, I feel bad. I could have went out and got Tony out, man. Because M&P was on there, and he knew what was going on, but he couldn't drive. But
nobody was
going
to be able to get Tony out because he couldn't relax, and he was flooring it and just digging himself deeper.
Mm.
So instead of relaxing, as soon as he got stuck, he should have aired down and eased it out. Tony would floor it. I mean, full throttle, dirt going everywhere. He just needed to relax and take it easy.
I think this is his first four-wheel drive.
Exactly.
$60 million question is when is Tony going to go back four-wheel in the mud?
Well, I'm sure he'll go back soon.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm asking.
About it. We'll probably
I know.
pretty soon.
Uh-huh.
Well, not only that, you know, I mean, from what it sounds like, they were screwed from the beginning, because you're saying you heard the sucking sound. Once he buried himself to the axles in that clay, you were not getting out of there without something with more torque than that truck ever had.
Yeah.
That, or you're going to have to wait for it to dry and then go chip it out, or you're going to have to get people under it with shovels breaking that suction.
Yeah, I realized.
Shovels and wood. Shovels and plywood.
We did the shovels. We did the wood. Didn't make a difference.
No, because you have to dig out, and especially if it's filling in underneath you as you're pulling it out, you're fucked.
Yeah, you can't see shit at fucking 2 in the morning.
Tony was having fun, man, and it's his first four-wheel drive, and the tires weren't built for mud, you know, and he
it's
got
a
stuck.
second four-wheel drive.
No, his Dodge wasn't a four-wheel drive.
Oh.
He just bought tires and rims for it. He put them on layaway, so he's gonna get some new rims pretty soon and tires.
Nice.
Yeah. What size did he get? Like tires size?
I think they might be 16-inch rims, and I don't know the tire size, but something smaller than he has now. So the rims smaller, bigger tires.
Nice. So that's what happened. It was pretty fun. It lasted a long time. We went back and forth how many times, Drew? Looking for chains and Toe
Yeah,
straps.
a lot of times we did it. It was a mission. It
Mhm.
was a mission to do all of that.
My toe straps just
I'm
weren't
just
long enough.
like MMP said, dude. All those patriots out there, nobody can help you. Nobody had shit. Yada yada.
Well, it was weird. Like everybody went to bed all early, you know,
Well,
and nobody was camping in the riverbed. It looked like at night. So it was
I
kind of
should have known.
everybody's out there going,
Nobody helped us. Yeah.
I should have known. Tactical 10 was ever that bitch. Nobody
no,
got
I
this
mean, really, you got to look at it like, okay, we came out here to have a good time and go to a barbecue. It's 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Uh-huh.
This guy gets stuck.
Everybody's camping. Everyone got their tents out.
Nobody's in danger. Nobody's gonna die.
Yeah.
They can wait till tomorrow. That's just country time. I mean, it's like, are
wanted
you
to
really in
take my
urgent need to go
two-wheel
anywhere?
drive
No.
Tried to pull his truck out, and it was crazy. We were like, nah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, most of the people there were probably like, hey, just settle down. It'll be fine. We'll do it in the morning.
Uh-huh.
That's what I told them, yeah. And we ended up doing it.
Like HT said, you know, they got their tents up. Everyone got their tents. Everybody just wants to roast some marshmallows and call it a night.
Plus, there's no light. There's no reason to be out there fighting the darkness and try to do that. You can get an observant time, get your bearing, figure out a plan. Everybody's fresh instead of being out there at 2 in the morning trying to do it. So everybody's like, chill out. We'll get it in the morning.
Yeah. And then plus you can't see shit. You know, like Neil said, you gotta fucking dig, man. You gotta get them shovels and start digging. You gotta know see what you're doing. Gotta see what you're doing. It's kind of hard to dig in the dark. You can't see shit.
Right.
How's anyone talk to Brad Stinger, Kansas? Anybody? Hello?
No, I haven't. Nope.
No?
I mean, we talked to Reb last week.
Yeah. Talked to him like a week before I left. On that Bahama trip, man. Fucking cruise, man. I'm never doing a fucking cruise ever again. I'm done. I'm so done with fucking cruises. I don't know why the hell I went. I mean, of course I know why. But I did it for them. You know, I did it for the fam, but you want to talk about, you know, nobody talks about, hey, when shit hit the fan, you know, what happens if shit hits the fan when you're on vacation or on a fucking cruise or if you're on a beach or yada, 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 man. That's good talk right there.
Lately, what is it called? I usually go to California for vacation since I'm from California, Los Angeles, and
there you go, baby.
I always try to bring a bug out bag, and then with California laws, I mean, I've been trying to bring my handgun, at least, you know, California compliant, of course, but I've been trying to bring at least some kind of gun with me wherever I go. If it's in California, throw it in the trunk.
Yeah, I can't even bring a fucking blade on the cruise, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking, those cruises are different stories, man. They're different rules.
Oh, yeah. Do they let you bring knives at all? Can you bring at least a knife?
No, I couldn't bring shit. I'm not bringing nothing.
Yeah. Like,
plus, I'm not trying to get headed up with the fam, you know what I mean? It's just, I wasn't going to risk it, you know? Plus, I mean, if I did go with the boy, if I did go there with the knife, I would have to give it up, you know? And it's not like I would be fighting if I had to give up one of my blades. Yeah, fuck that. And that would be an argument with her. And why the hell did you bring a knife? We knew where we were. You knew where we were going. Why did you bring a knife? I'm not trying to have that fucking fiasco right before we go, and that would be another fucking story. And yeah, you married, Drew? You got any kids?
Well, yeah, I just got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no kids yet. I'm 24. Yeah, I'm young.
Yeah, well, the boys.
You got plenty of time. No time to push that.
Yeah, the boys will tell you anything, man. Fucking, you make something and you rock the boat, dude, and they don't let it go. They continue with it and they talk about it for a long time.
No, that's just G's wife. Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah. Hey, we'll throw that shit up against you, brother. From the one time in Baltimore when you thought you were fucking Rambo, you took a knife to a cruise. Yeah, shit like that. Oh yeah, never ends. Motherfucker made me seasick. You know when they say don't eat off the boat, they're serious. Don't eat off the boat. When they tell you that shit, brother, because you know in fucking Bahamas, man, they don't use the same meat. You know, they might leave it out. A lot of people say, "Oh man, the meat that's not refrigerated." They just let that shit sit out there, you know. And I just had a cheeseburger on the fucking beach. We were in sandals, in the resort sandals. We were at their beach, and yeah, don't eat their meat. Whatever you do, you on a cruise, do not eat off the ship.
Where are you headed to? Where's the cruise? What are you
We
gonna
left
see?
out of Bmore. We left out of Baltimore Sunday, and we went to Port Canaveral in Florida. Got there like on Tuesday. Went through the Carolinas. Went to Florida, Bahamas, Nassau, Atlantis, shit like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
pretty
man.
cool. I went on a crappy carnival cruise once. I went to Catalina Island and then to Ensenada, Mexico. It was pretty crappy.
Really, tell Tenround. Tenround wanted to go on a cruise to Mexico.
Some places
That's
in Mexico
the.
are, but
That's what I was on, Drew. I was on the Carnival too, bro.
yeah, some of them are nice. But I don't know. I picked a crappy one. I guess it was a cheap one.
Yeah. The one we had was nice. Had a basketball court, but I mean, it wasn't all that. But I just couldn't wait to be home. I couldn't wait to get off. Got seasick maybe a couple of nights, but
Oh man, I thought I was gonna get seasick. I didn't. Thank God.
fucking boat Saturday night it started fucking raining like shit. The fucking all the water at the pool and the jacuzzi came out. The bitch was rocking and man,
The funny thing is, I brought.
Sounds like a good time.
I don't know if I should be admitting this, but I brought a couple grams of weed with me on board the ship.
no shit. Did you get away with it?
And it's like I went with my parents. I think I was like 19 at the time.
Good job.
So when we passed through, like when I got off to Mexico too, I just always had it in my pockets. So I don't know how I got away with it, but I did somehow. That was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you leave that ship, man, you got to go through security. Then when you get back on that ship, you got to go through all that.
But that's why I'm surprised they don't let you bring at least some kind of little pocket knife. I mean, I don't know why. I would think it's not as bad as an airplane. That's weird. And that makes me think too. Like if you happen to take a flight, everybody takes flights, and you know if there was somebody acting crazy on the airplane, how are you gonna subdue the person or
I'll just fucking I'll just fucking squash his head like a grape, dude. I got big fucking
But that's
hands,
the thing.
brother.
All the people on 9/11, how come none of them did anything? Like, or did they try? Or like, I don't know.
Where and what situation did they try? Where didn't they try, Drew?
How many sheeps do you see attacking wolves, Drew?
Yeah.
Not enough. Not enough. There's not enough
None.
people standing up to crime and just standing up against, those
Exactly.
kind of things. They let it happen. They let it happen.
That's right. Exactly right.
That's not right.
Because they don't got no heart. Because they don't got no heart. They have no balls to. Just like the guy died in California, the guy Williams, the homeless guy. You mean to tell me that nobody saw 10 fucking cops suffocating the man and beating the shit out of him? Not one fucking soul. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. Because I know if I was fucking there, I would fucking get to know that shit, regardless.
LA's a different place, man. LA is the cops over there, the sheriff, the LAPD. Those guys are some of the dirtiest cops.
They're all crooked, yo. They're crooked, yo.
It's really bad. It's insane, man. It's not even a joke. They're like a gang. They're literally a gang. Any criminals, they'll go to town on you, man. It's just crazy. It's horrible.
Yeah, they do that here. They do here in Baltimore too, brother. They take your spine out.
Yeah, it's crazy. The legal system in this country. It's you'd think it would be better. You would think it'd be fair. But it's not.
To add to that, Drew, what's really worse is that the motherfuckers don't even get in trouble for it. Like these guys here in Baltimore, they're not going to take that stand. I really hope they do. It would be nice. It would be nice to see them take the stand and get what they deserve. But it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen.
But then it's
And,
weird. Like there are really bad cops out there, but then like Mike Brown, like that whole Ferguson thing. I think those cops were, I don't know. Mike Brown, he definitely deserved to get shot for what he did, you know. And then everybody went
yeah,
crazy and burned their own town down.
yeah.
It's just that's just crazy.
Well, hopefully we don't burn our city down. You know, that's what I'm believing. And the big thing I saw in Ferguson, it's one neighborhood against the cops and the government and yada yada. You saw these fucking groups being formed. You know, everybody was forming different groups. Down in Baltimore, you saw everybody stick together. You saw everybody stand as one, as the people. And if the people can stand together and you fucking just get everybody on the same page, bro, you'll be surprised what numbers can do. You would really be surprised.
Well, I think if martial law ever hit, you know, the United States, or if any kind of something crazy happened here, I think that there's enough firearm owners and patriots
Yes.
out there that we could, you know, that we
Look
have
at
a
Bundy.
stand.
Look at Bundy Ranch.
Yeah.
HD will tell you that firsthand. But the biggest accomplishment, Drew, is to get everybody together to stand on the same side of the street. That's the biggest. That's the biggest. The biggest. The biggest step is to get everybody on the same page, and that's your biggest hurdle. Sounds so easy, but it never happens because they try to divide. You got racism, you know. They don't want you to. They don't want us to stand on one side. They want us to fight, argue, put shit on fire. They want us to burn the motherfucker down. So we have nothing.
That's the one thing they're afraid of, is us uniting.
Exactly. Because if we have the numbers, we can overcome a lot. A lot. And there's so many like-minded people out there that just can't get their shit together. And everybody wants to be the big man. Everybody wants to be the fucking sergeant. Everybody wants to be the general. And I think that Baltimore is going to show a lot of fucking cities how it's going to be done. I really do. And you can, you know, people can say what they can say what they want about Baltimore and DC, yada yada yada. But you know what? Those people, man, they fucking stick together down there. And you saw black people, white people. It's just not black people that live in them hoods in Bmore. There's a lot of white people that live down there too. And you saw them stick together. You saw them stick together. You know,
Hey,
and that's big.
hey,
That's
hi,
huge.
Desert. Are you you're in Nevada?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Nevada?
Up near Carson City.
Oh, okay, so you're in northern Nevada. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just moved to California 3 years ago, and I love Nevada. Nevada's great. I just thought it was one big desert at first, but there's a lot of good things about Nevada. Camping, fishing, hiking, all that.
Yeah.
It's a great state.
I'll come see you, brother Drew. I'll be there in July, baby. Me and 10 round. We'll be there.
Awesome. Are you guys coming down for 4th of July, or what's
Yes, sir. Oh, it's already planned, baby. It's already booked, sealed, and delivered.
Awesome.
Where's Tony? Where did Tony Tone go?
What is it called? I don't know. He want to go drink and stuff and do some stuff, but I
Let me
don't know.
text.
He's gone for the night.
Where's going for the night?
Water got him occupied, bro.
H2O. You'll be drinking that H2O.
Yeah. He says he's gonna have 100 hours on his paycheck these last 2 weeks. He's been working so much. He's always tired and stuff.
Well, I'm sure he's putting fucking overtime when he gets off work, boy. Drinking that water. He's getting that water fills you up, boy, quick. That's why I drink a lot of water, man, so I can keep going. You know, saying water slows me down. Gotta keep it moving. Oh no, I'd just like to see something happen here, man. I really do. I want to see justice, and I want to see these motherfuckers get what they deserve. For a guy to be in a paddy wagon for 30 minutes, and did you see him, HD? Did you see him laying in the hospital with like, oh fuck, I mean,
No, I didn't see that
oh,
part.
it was bad. It was bad, man. And for the cops that have the audacity to say that maybe they never touched him and they do not know what happened to him. I mean, that's absurd. That really is absurd.
But that's just how it is. I mean, cops and police officers can do that. I mean, even if they had the authority to use force, they can use it to whatever degree they feel is,
And that's why
that
we
they
need
want.
justice, Drew. We need justice, brother.
And that's the thing. It's never gonna change until there's like some kind of big reform, or the people get fed up with it. It's been like that for a long time.
The thing that I don't understand is that I know all cops are not bad, dude. I have a cousin that's a city cop down here, and he's good people, man. He's good people. They all fucking love him, and he's not a bad guy, and fucking I just don't understand the good cops that are watching this. Don't you? What do you think they're thinking? Like, wouldn't you think that they're tired of it? You know how the doctors and the lawyers get the bad names? The cops surpass all that shit, and we all know that. But when do you think that the cops, the good ones, are going to stand up and say, you know what, this is bullshit? Like the girl in New York City. The cop in New York, the female cop, got fired because she fucking broke up two dudes from beating the shit out of a civilian. I mean, and she lost her job, and she got fired for that shit. But she came out and said, "Hey, I saved a life. I did my job. Whatever happened to that? To protect and to serve. It's gone. It's done." And they continue to watch it, and they continue to watch, and they continue to see nothing's being done because nobody cares. And they say they don't want to get in trouble because they defend their, like you said, brotherhood. It's a gang. They stick together. But I know damn well there's some good cops out there that are saying to themselves, when is this shit going to end? What can I do to change it? They need to do something. I don't know. I don't know. Damn. You all got some wolves or something? What's the deal? They all on the West Coast. We all got some coyotes. I'm the only one that's from the East Coast over here. I'm surrounded by West Coast.
Yep, you're the last man standing.
Yep, and I always outlast all y'all too. Y'all motherfuckers are 3 hours fucking behind me. I'm still.
Yeah, so just can't roll like that.
Oh, you're a high roller, son. Or the HDP coming out the woodwork. What do you think you're gonna do, bro? What do you think you're? I mean, is there anything that you're looking at that you got your eye on, or is there something that you got?
No, I don't have a specific target or anything. It's just one of those ideas that's always been there. You just.
Why don't you run your own classes, brother? Why don't you get your instructor's class, dude, and do it and get your own get your license and fucking start teaching, start training. Just start up your own fucking school, bro. I could see you doing that. You're good with people.
Yeah.
People listen to you. They listen to you.
I don't know about that. How do you know people listen to me? You ever seen Reb? Reb never listens to me.
Reb always listens to you. You guys listen to each other. That's why it works. But
that seems like that's a pretty crowded market, really.
Is it where you're at in Carson City? There's
several people that teach stuff. Most of it's law enforcement, but I've got friends that do stuff on the side. It's pretty crowded.
No
But
type of security, no security or fucking like.
as far as my own running it myself,
Yeah, I mean, what are some things that no restaurant, no food. Like, what's Third doing? Is Third? Did he find anything new or?
I don't know what Third's up to. Really?
He's not doing the food game no more. So
Oh yeah.
I think he's in the same boat. He's just trying to find something different. If you're listening out there, what's going on, Rebellious Stripes? Shout outs to you.
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
still
That's
got
not
we
that.
still
My
got
my
32
problem
people
is
watching.
my skill set's pretty limited to you know the military background, so there's not a whole lot of variety in that as far as transferring that over to something other than like what you already mentioned, which is especially right now, it's actually it's a collapsing market really because so
Really?
many contract people, yeah, so many contractors and private security guys are losing their jobs, so they're opening up their own training for civilians and stuff, and there's so many guys that have been getting out for the last 10 years that have been opened up their own training stuff that it's a very over you know it's oversaturated market, I guess you'd say, as far as the actual product. You know.
Mm-hmm. Because I know in Vegas, I mean, that's and they're building and building and building because they want people to live there. So there's always something being built or new business or yada yada. Uh, Shit. Just like that guy Jim. What about working like at a gun store, or running a gun store like that AK? I know y'all got some great gun stores down there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, there's plenty of gun stores. I don't. They're not hiring that I know of. But
Or maybe get into
yeah,
it, or maybe get into like with a gun manufacturer. You know, find a gun manufacturer, start talking to them, maybe see what are some available spots. And see if you fit the bill or see if anything that might interest you.
yeah. That's something I
You
haven't
see,
reached out that far.
my fallback is I can always go back to cars, running the car, a little small car dealership. But I really wouldn't be happy overall. But that's a tough.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
hope everything's
always
go-
easy.
Yes, I hope everything's going okay for Chris there. I don't know what he's up to, but he departed kind of abruptly. So prayers for Chris and whatever he's got going on. 10 round.
Oh, did he bounce out?
Yeah, some comment about something came up, so hopefully everything works out okay for him.
All right. Well, dang. Yeah, hope he's working it. Yeah, that's
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you, HDP, for opening the Dragon tonight. That's much appreciated.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, I mean, like we said, we just want to have Mule's back, and I was looking at when I'm glad he gave us a heads up. So I was like, well, actually, I've got some time open this week, so I might actually. I was like, well, we'll see if we can clear the schedule and get it done. So that's what we did. But I guess we're getting close to. We're what just over 3 hours. You guys want to wrap it up, or G, did you want to push it on?
Yeah, geez, the Energizer Bunny.
G step out on us, or? Well, let me see if I can pull up the um, chat room. See if we got some comments out there, shout outs, and maybe we'll wrap it up and call it good. You dealing with any storms out there in the Midwest? Do you guys have any other tornadoes such?
Where I'm at, it's been pretty mellow. It's like 40 degrees colder. That kind of sucked to adjust to that, but otherwise, no tornadoes where we're at, so that's good. We had the ones there about 2 weeks ago, just about 50 minutes north of Mule. There was a tornado that wiped out that town. So prayers for those guys. The weather has been kind of goofy in general. I don't know. Chemtrail report. I didn't notice any today, so I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's just cloudy here. It's not really been anything like that.
Although we had chemtrails as Easter night, right about sundown, I was noticing that you could see the chemtrails show up. Like we didn't have any all Easter weekend, and then right at sundown, you started seeing these new ones. Just a few of them start popping up. So I took a picture, and then 1 week later, it was like the exact same scene, and everything looked the same except for there weren't any chemtrails. So that's kind of weird.
All right. Well, okay, I got the chat here. Let me scroll up, see where we left off, see what we got in. Stu Zap USA's out there. Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you in the chat. 4. That's just 4 spelled out, not the number 4. In the chat. Let's see what we're talking about out there. They're pretty. They've branched out pretty broadly today. Quasar Nugs. Can only imagine what that references. It looks like Redbud and Partisan Gorilla and Wayne Donnie, they've held with us all the way to the end. Joel's Quantum Heart School, what's up? I know I saw some of your chat the other day. P NASCARs is out there. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, we're glad to have a chat. Glad we could do it. That looks like all the people that have joined us, but a lot of people hung us with us for the good portion of the chat. With Redbud and Dutch Point of View, Partisan Grill. Yeah, all those guys have been here pretty much since the beginning. You still with me?
Appreciate it.
I thought I lagged out.
Everybody coming out to, the old dragon. He kind of evolves as time goes along, but it's still a tavern. So hopefully we're learning something while we're still having a good time.
Yeah, so good chat. Andrew, you still with us? Did he just put his icon up there, or did he depart? You want to go ahead and do a shout out, Jim? Anything you want to talk about just before we leave? Any last wise words of wisdom?
Well, again, I shouted out Tony on the last one. So Tactical Tony's a really good guy. I'm glad to know him, and he had quite an adventure at the Bundy Ranch, and we got to share a little bit about what happened. And so kudos for Tony and his truck. Prayers for G. Hopefully Baltimore doesn't melt down like another Ferguson, but it depends on what the powers that be want to have the outcome. If they're going to go in there and stir all kinds of shit up, then it could get shitty.
Yeah, for sure. A town like that could get pretty ugly pretty quick. But so we'll close it up here. Just shout out to everybody there in the chat room. We've already mentioned you. Thanks for commenting and following, really doing your own chat out there and keeping some pretty interesting topics going, it looks like. Hope we discussed some good topics and everybody enjoyed it. Shout out to Mule. Hope everything's going well for him and he can get back in action soon. Shout out to Rebel Solutions. If you haven't checked out his store, Rebel's developing stickers and other decals, and he paints what does he paint? Pretty much anything, right, Jim? Rebel pretty much paints magazines and everything like that. So, yeah, if you need custom work done on any of your guns or anything, look at Rebel, and he might be able to hook you up. But shout out to him. He's usually in here for something. Big shout out to everybody that went up to Oregon today at the Sugar Pine Mine and got there for the BLM. It pretty much made them shut down business for the day. That's the way it's got to roll. And continue to people out there to continue to search for solutions to the problem. Don't just talk about the problem. We'll talk to you later. Live free.
Yeah, night, folks.